Welcome in to the 2025 Fall Carolina Collegiate Clash B-Stream. I'm here with Skyline, Bear Light here with you. Excited to be here today. We're live on the campus of NC State, just 5 miles from where we saw the Raleigh Major. It's bound to be a great day here today, Skyline.
I'm expecting a lot of exciting matchups, and this first one starting off with a banger, a rivalry in itself between the colleges, between South Carolina and Clemson, for the tail of the top team in South Carolina. But right now, South Carolina trying to start out strong with their main roster, and AUG Turnip and SJT, who has been doing wonders in the CRL scene, and Clemson also kind of been that underdog story, have been able to upset some teams in the half, and I believe they played an SEL not too long ago, and I believe South Carolina came on top of that, but then South Carolina also came on top in the collegiate scenes for CC3. So they're going to be holding a fire under their tails for Clemson, trying to get back into this and see if they can finally get a win over South Carolina.
Yeah, and I mean, there's something to be said about a team that's been together for so long, and you're seeing a prime example of exactly that. It's AUG to SJT. How many times have we seen this combination over the years?
I mean, it's just a prime example of how good South Carolina can be and how they've even reached top 30 in the country before. Is because teams like this, they build their chemistry over time and work with each other. And that roster between SJT and AUG, they put so many hours of work and twos and threes into these scrims to where it's just showing out whenever they play on these lands or any of these league play matches. So Clemson, they're going to be having this tall task ahead of them, but so far, they're able to somewhat keep it steady, still down a goal.
The last time these two teams matched up, it was week 3, where South Carolina got the better of the matchup here against Clemson by the count of 3-1. And in that game, I mean, this is a situation where South Carolina outscored Clemson 20-3 in goals scored, and you're seeing exactly why. AUG had 10 goals in that series, and we see him spark up once again.
I mean, you just cannot be doing that if you are Clemson. Going for the corner boost and leaving your net wide open, just a free lane down the middle, and AUG's going to take that 10 out of 10 times, and maybe that's why he got his 10 goals last time. It's because every 10 times there's just an open net like that. So Clemson once again going down 2-0, but they're going to be looking to try to strike back here as, again, it's right back in the blue half, but Clemson still not able to get through this strong defense that has been surrounding them by the Gamecocks.
Just great movement, right? Great decision making. SJT able to sweep across to make a big save there early as well to keep this scoreless. It's one of the reasons that frustrated, Clemson, and they're right back on the gas pedal as well. He took a shot. That one's going to be fended well. Up in the corner now, Nassau is going to collect, but the touch is going to give away possession here in midfield, and AUG will easily just be able to jump up to this one and lay loose in midfield. Here's Turnip. Be able to turn on this one. Off the corner, SJT was trying to go. Turnip does get an awkward touch, a little bit of a pre-flip touch there to try to get it to the center, but it was denied ultimately by Clemson.
And see, Clemson just trying to rush everything a little too much. They got to get comfortable. I know this is a lane setting and everyone feels a little bit more uncomfortable than usual trying to get adjusted to everything, but they got to get adjusted just like the Gamecocks have so far, because right now these Tigers just have looked so uncomfortable even on the offensive half. It looks like they're able to get pressure, but they just give it up so easily, and that's how South Carolina has been able to take advantage, unless Clemson maybe could get one here, but SJT, great save on that back end, even as the third man, and once again, just Clemson trying to take it forward, but the Gamecocks just will not relieve any pressure, and SJT might have put the shot on target, but AUG making sure that one sends home through.
Yeah, and AUG out in front, just it forces Enzo to make a decision, and I thought it was the right one too, to be able to challenge it, get a jump up, and then still be in the way of the net, but it's still a third man commit. You have to be confident in that challenge, and it just wasn't. So with 2:02 left here in this game number 1, it's been all USC, as we saw during the regular season as well. Continues in that same vein here, as again, there's just seemingly no ball control that Clemson's be able to manage, and it's not their own doing. I mean, USC has been really good, very calculated about where they want to go with this ball, direct passing, knowing exactly where they're going to go. Finally, Clemson's going to have this opportunity, and they actually fake him off the back wall, but SJT has been so good that he's been shutting him down every single time.
Exactly, and a player that I'm kind of looking to break out here for Clemson, even if it takes a bit, is Masao. Masao is a player that I've seen and ranked, and I know that they have the mechanics and the brain to be able to help propel their team, be an enabler. But right now, Masao and Enzo and and Beans, they're just all three just kind of putting pop shots on target and not playing to their natural abilities that we've kind of seen them through the year so far. And maybe an opportunity here with a 1-2 pass, but Beans with a save.
no.
Enzo might be able to get it. And finally, Clemson put themselves on the board with just the very awkward touches, saving their own shots teammate from Beans and Masao, but it sets it right up perfectly for Enzo.
Yeah, sometimes when you're on land and something like that happens and it's like chaotic and you're saving your own teammates' goals, sometimes it can be like getting in your own head situation. It's tough to kind of break out of that, especially when you're here in person. But a good job and recognition from Enzo, not only that he was that it was open, but that it was the right time to be able to strike without giving something away to USC.
And that's exactly what they need from their third man in those situations, is to have that trust in their first and second to start setting that up to where they can rotate in at those appropriate times. Because right now, again, they just look so disgruntled with each other, and Beans just not getting the read there as he had low boost and saw on the back wall. All three players for Clemson are awkward, but Masao being able to be the savior for them in this game one, even though they still are down by 2 and 30 seconds remaining. They got to get something going here, and they need to go quick if they want to have a chance at this game one.
And now's an opportunity. You're given a little bit of space, which hasn't been there all series or all game long. Really series long too, I guess, technically.
Yeah.
But Beans will be back on into challenge into the corner. Masao up for this one. Trying to get a downfield play, but there's nobody there. Again, seems like aimless touches, and this should allow the chance for USC to be able to close out under 10 seconds left if they play their cards right. Seems to be that way. Beans will have possession, but no Beans in the tank, so this one will go the way of USC in game number 1.
Yeah, the Gamecocks just came out so strong at the beginning, scoring 3 goals right off the rip within the first 3 minutes. And then they started slowing down a little bit, trying to pull back on that aggression that you saw so much, just trying to hold that lead, and that's where Clemson was able to take over and start getting more confident with themselves. So if Clemson wants to win this game and get back in the series, even though it's only 1-0, they need to go a little bit quicker into this. They need to be able to trust each other more like they did on that one opportunity, because right now that's all South Carolina that's been doing that, and they've just been banging it towards the net. Clemson's been so messed up on their own end that it's just felt like open nets over and over again.
No doubt. Well, the last time these two teams matched up, the only win that Clemson was able to manage was a 3-2 victory, so just by 1 goal. They are doing a good job of keeping it closer, it seems. Again, it's very early, so we don't have a big sample size to really pull from here in this after game number 1. But again, it's better than starting off with a 5-0. You had some moments. The shot count was exactly the same. Granted, USC's chances were certainly a lot better, more grade A chances. So we'll see if Clemson can turn it around and get some real challenges, really challenge this USC defense. We haven't quite seen that yet.
Yeah, and they're looking to start off strong again, straight into that South Carolina half, which we saw them being a lot into. And there we go with Masao, the player I said was looking to break out into the series and getting the first goal of this game to start out in the lead. Clemson just going strong with the 1-2 from Beans to Masao.
Yeah, believe it or not, Masao again didn't even get in the goal column in that last series against USC. So to see him come alive for sure and be able to contribute here is huge for them because of the dynamic playmaking, like you've already mentioned here earlier in the series. So we'll see if that same trend continues. They're certainly looking a lot better. That is until a little bit of a miscue there at midfield. Wasn't able to get the touch. And SJT relieves some pressure from USC. A big clear here out, and Beans will actually extend the play forward offensively as Enzo goes all the way to the ceiling. We'll pinch it back wall opportunity, but that'll be an easy one for Turnip to get to. Og again will do exactly the same, and he'll find SJT with that seamless connection that'll force Enzo back towards it. There's a lot of boost to get up and make that save, and still trapped here in the defensive zone here.
South Carolina is something that they need to start worrying about. Is I'm starting to see Clemson get a little bit more confident the longer they're playing. I saw a pre-jump coming up earlier from Enzo from the pass of his teammate of Masao. So that kind of confidence is what I was talking about earlier before this game, is what they need in order to take them further in this series. And if you are South Carolina, you got to figure out how to adjust to that if you don't want to lose to them, because right now you might be as confident as ever, but you still can't worry about the human factor of not knowing whenever people are going to pop off or play better than expected, or even play as expected. Sometimes they'll play under your radar a little bit, but right now Clemson is trying to do the complete opposite. They're trying to play end over end, and right now all trying to put it into the back of the net, but not able to get that one through on the angle. So Clemson once again surviving on a thread, as that one's still on the half of Clemson, finally able to get a clear out.
And Enzo had enough boost to try and challenge into that one, but the ball got a little bit away from them. Again, when your possessions are being limited, you want to make sure that you actually get some value from when you do get them. So, you know, a big clear could be important, but you also want to hold on to that ball control. It's all going to be about communication, about when you have time to work with, space to operate. Sure, it doesn't happen often, but you want to be able to bail yourself out. And right now, a great chance for USC. It's left up there. Somehow Enzo read it.
Just an insane play, even with no boost on the back end. Clemson's still able to get those saves and clear it out, but here come the Gamecocks once again, going strong at it as SJT trying to dunk the last man, but not able to. Enzo taking the 50 in the corner, trying to go quick up in the air as SJT meeting him there, but it's a wide open net, and the third man commit might lead to a goal. It's off the crossbar, and South Carolina saved by the fourth man, just barely hanging on the thread of the net and not able to go in. So Clemson only keeping the 1-goal lead as South Carolina saved just ever so much.
That's notable because we just talked about how you're not going to have very many opportunities and haven't been able to create something. Well, here's another one, and Enzo will slot it far aside. Perfectly placed shot and had quite the velocity on it too.
I mean, that is just picture perfect. One commits up in the air, Og commits as well, leaving one back in SJT. Supposed to be that last man sitting on that back post, tried to go a little too aggressive, not knowing where he was going to put it. And just unfortunately a misread from SJT to allow Clemson to get that second goal. So we might be seeing a repeat of what we saw in the league play whenever Clemson won Game 2. They're looking to take Game 2 but to further the series on rather than keeping it close. So looks like South Carolina trying to keep some pressure on, and finally one going through off the bump plays in the demo. SJT able to send that one top home.
Yeah, that's very reminiscent of what we saw in that last match too, where it was Game 2 victory for Clemson, but it wasn't by much. It was by a 1-goal differential, and here we go again as USC can score goals in bunches, so it'll be up to Clemson to not just hold on, but also be able to add some more to it because you're never comfortable with a 1-goal lead against this team.
I mean, you just got to figure out a way to hold on, park the bus, but you also need to figure out a way to stay aggressive so that way they don't just can end up throwing shots on your half over and over to where you get to the point of so awkward you can't save it. South Carolina, that's what they thrive on. That's how, like I said before, they've gone to that top 30 position in the country because even against these top tier teams that you might not expect them to even take a game off of, they still go to 5 and best of 5s, or they'll end up upsetting them out of nowhere, which I don't know if you pay attention to the Southeastern League at all, but they swept Kennesaw State in the Southeastern League, and I know we talked about them also beating them on land, and here they go again on land, tying this game right back up. Clemson go up by 2, and South Carolina closes that within a couple minutes, and with a minute and a half remaining, we're tied again.
And Clemson's doing such a good job of holding USC at bay until that broke through, and so it took a little bit of creativity, just banging it off the ground, off the surface to try to just advance it forward, knowing that you had that advantage positionally up front for USC, and then allowing the, I believe it was Og, or was it Turnip there in front, either way, to get that touch, knowing and trusting your teammates will be there, but then in the situation, be able to read that. So here we are, squared away, that one bouncing towards the net, but it will be ultimately picked up there by SJT. He'll bounce it out to midfield. And up for this one, Enzo. The shot was well high, but Turnip wasn't taking any chances. Hits it off the back wall, trying to find a teammate, but a bit clear out, and we remain scoreless here with 50 seconds left here in Game 2.
Clemson just slowed down so much since what we saw at the start. It just seems like a lot of these teams, South Carolina did in the first game, they still won though, was start out very strong, aggressive, and then they started pushing back, getting too slow and getting too comfortable and allowing the other team to come through. And South Carolina now doing what was done to them, to Clemson, as Og playing it off the backboard and Turnip with a perfect read, playing the miscalculation for Masao, and unfortunately for Masao, that was miscalculated as the miss coming through and a free goal to give them the lead.
It feels like the only option that Clemson has had right now is to try to hold on by a thread because of the pressure that's mounting from USC, and then if you play that way though, that's the best way to see your lead not only disappear, but then tilt the other side, and that's what we saw from USC. I was talking about how they needed more goals to create more offense. They weren't able to accomplish that, and now you see the time tick down. It's really pressing matter here for Clemson, but they've got an offensive chance as we tick down, under 10 seconds left. Mass out to the center, but Beans couldn't quite flip into it. Ran just out of room, maybe drove a little bit too far forward. Still need one last opportunity, but it's going to be a long way, and nope, it's going to be killed down by USC, and they'll be up 2-0 in the series.
South Carolina, even when they stay down, they go right back on top. And Once again, they're down 2-0 for Clemson, and Clemson got to find a way to reverse sweep this and get right back into it, or else this could be an 0-1 start for them. And remember, top 4 teams stay top 4, bottom 4 teams stay bottom 4. So no matter what, Clemson is in this top 4 half, so even if they end up losing on the day, so they stay in that top 4. But you don't want to start off on a loss. I feel like that mentally can get into your head and be like, okay, we need to progress a little bit better. We don't want to be like putting ourselves in a dump getting ready for the next day. So obviously, starting out with a win would be huge for their momentum going into this day, but they got a tall task ahead of them.
Yeah, they certainly do. Obviously, you know, you got so many good teams here. We could talk about them all day long. You know, the way that UNC Charlotte's been playing, my alma mater, they've been absolutely incredible. Winthrop here, you know, with or without Garrett G, you've got a lot of talent right below him, plus that leadership there too. So Winthrop's been incredible too. So a lot of teams you got to go up against the entirety of this weekend. But again, this series, it's getting closer. You know, Clemson is able to get a close one, but at the end of the day, what I've seen between the regular season and here today over the first couple of games, it's certainly tilted from USC. They've been better for a majority of every single game, and to see a reverse sweep would be something, but I'm not sure the likelihood of that here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see, because we talked about the pressure kind of going back and forth, but I was looking at the shot totals, and we saw 11 shots in total from South Carolina compared to 5 from Clemson, so double the shot total pretty much, but a very close game altogether because the saves kind of came together for Clemson. That defense is holding strong for them, but obviously they say defense wins championships, but you got to have some offense. You got to get some goals in the back of the net, because you can keep it a 0-0 scoreline all you want, but you finally let one through because you're not able to get one of your own, and that's just going to be game. So Clemson got to find some offense to go through, but right now it just feels like they keep slowing down every time it looks like they're about to speed up.
Yeah, it's that bend but don't break attitude, but the only way that you can really be successful in that strategy, because it is a viable one if you're perfect positionally, essentially, because you let one in. Like you mentioned, it could be small trouble. We're seeing it right here again. That's going to be the third time in a row that USC has found a lead and gotten off to a pretty good start. Obviously, Clemson started pretty early last game, but USC's cooking, and Clemson is, it's hard finding answers for them right now.
South Carolina looking to shut this series out early and take the brooms up themselves and get this sweep, but they still got to go through a Clemson team that still has the determination to get back into this, and we've seen the promise from them, but again, they got to get some. I haven't seen many demos in this series from them, which is something I feel like we see Masao going for a demo right there as I speak of it. Maybe you heard me. But these demos and bumps is what's going to be allowed them to open up more space and clear that back line and that net that's been so strong for South Carolina as well. And right now, we're just seeing South Carolina sit on third, waiting for that ball to get banged to them, immediately take it, and then advance it upfield with a second man for trust. So right now, there's exactly what they're looking to do, but a missed touch and Turnip almost allowing the goal in, but luckily him and SJT able to hold down the back line, and South Carolina once again able to get that one from not being scored on.
Yeah, Turnip, again, just happened to be right place, right time whenever he turned around and got a couple of big blocks, but Oggs going up for the back wall and an opportunity, but missed. And once again, Clemson's better be thanking their stars right now, because there's been a lot of opportunities and good looks from USC. They have not been able to finish. And so now USC can very easily just kind of ride this one to the finish line if they choose, because they are that much in control. Their confidence level is that high. They're a strong enough team to be able to do that and not really worry, but they can also put in more goals too, but they're committing pretty far forward here. They'll have numbers the other way. Clemson will try to get up to it, but the read unfortunately got a little bit below it, wasn't able to get up in time. They'll still tap it down, but SJG in the way. Enzo back to the middle, but didn't quite have the support from Masao, and Agua's there to clean up the loose change.
Yeah, just two Clemson players committing in the same corner, and third just not able to really play trustful in that situation because of that clumpness from the Tigers just being able to not advance the way that they need to. So right now we see some pressure going on and maybe a shot going through from Beans, but the fourth man once again saving the day from South Carolina, something we saw last game, and all three players diving at it, but still low boost for the Gamecocks. Og finally getting boost, trying to take it high. Masao gets the dunk. Enzo left, last man back. It's a 1v1 situation. Shot goes on, but a good save from Enzo, and here comes a counterattack. Beans tries to play it quickly. SJT getting the read beforehand and the double with no boost. And South Carolina, what looked like the possible counterattack to send it right back onto their half. SJT just pounces on that and gives them one to send them up two.
Man, oh man. Double touch playground coming in handy there. You don't have boost in the tank, it don't matter. Love to see that. Make them pay the other side. Basically a full commit there from Clemson. They still weren't able to punch it through. It was right on the goal line, and still just couldn't quite find the support, and USC was able to reorganize just in time. Now again, another opportunity presents itself Clemson, still no answer, but they're still on it. Massow to the box. Beans shut down by Turnip. Follow up here from Enzo off the crossbar. They almost got back to it, but Clemson able to cut the lead in half just barely.
And once again, the bumps are what they needed, and that's the bumps they got. Beans able to clear out the net on the last man, and because of that, SJT trying to reach back to accompany that last man that got bumped, but it's just too slow. The great team plays to allow them to get back into this, but as of right now, they're still down by one with a little bit over a minute and a half remaining, and they need one more to at least somewhat certify themselves to be able to get this overtime. But again, it's just so much pressure, a shot going towards the backboard, but nothing to come of it as South Carolina is sending it right back on. Enzo has no boost, having to get Beans to rotate in for him, and South Carolina keeping this pressure, not wanting this Clemson Tiger team to take any advantages they have.
That's how and Beans going to be able to combine. Did a good job at support here defensively. Going to be out of boost though. Just like you were mentioning earlier here in this game too, they've been giving away possession a lot. When USC gets it, they know to be patient. They know that they just need to kill off the clock. And right now, Nassau's going to be pumped off it too. The physicality showcasing itself. Beans needed to get up in a hurry and does. This one's still going to be available, but SJT wasn't able to get a touch. And August's going to be out of boost. Nassau bumps him out of the way. Here's Enzo with possession. Tries to swing it past Turnip. Follow up here from Beans, but he wasn't able to get a touch. Another opportunity that's going to fall by the wayside here for Clemson.
It just looks like too much of the rush play there. They try to go into it too quickly, even though they have time. And something that we see, they want to go quick, but right now they're trying to go too quick. They're putting themselves out of positions. And we've seen that ball fly over their head multiple times because of this. That third man not playing disciplined enough to keep themselves back and wait for their teammates to play in as the 1-2. So Beans trying to be that second man going in for Enzo. Enzo as the first, playing the pass back to Beans, fakes for Massow. Massow once again going for the touch, but ends up playing it to the corner. Beans tries to get it middle, and time just ticking in their head, seeing it on that screen, 20 seconds remaining. They need this goal, or else it's going to be a 3-0 sweep. Massow and Beans double commit on the back end, 15 seconds. That time's still going down. The demo comes out as third. South Carolina in open net with a whiff. Enzo able to get back, and Beans able actually to cut in front of him. And here we go, 3 seconds. Have to go from one end to the other to save your chance at this game and series, but that ball down off the ceiling, and we have a sweep from South Carolina start off.
They were able to get it back in great form here again. A great win for USC. They knew what their mission was. They had to come out here and beat Clemson like they did during the regular season. And they're not only able to do that, they won up themselves and able to get the sweep instead this time. Although that being said, Clemson a much closer matchup than we saw during the regular season, and maybe that we expected here as USC was firing on all cylinders, seemed to be the better team as a cohesive unit versus what Clemson was able to show us here right now.
I was about to say Clemson, I know with them in South Carolina, it was South Carolina winning 5-0, and then Clemson won 3-2, and then it was 7-1, 5-0 again. Now we're seeing first game, I forget the score, but I know second game and third game was 3-2, 2-1.
Yep.
So a lot closer. It shows more how they've come together as a team, and especially getting more comfortable as they were playing on this lane setting. Because like I said at the very beginning, playing on a LAN and playing at home or even in your team's esports arena is a big difference.
Yeah.
But they're looking to adjust to it. And again, at the start of the day, you have 2 days to get used to it. I believe all teams make playoffs. So this is just the start. They're getting adjusted to it slowly but surely, and that's what you want to do. You want to take your time to kind of get into it. One loss isn't the end of the world, but it is something that you still have to look back on. It's like, okay, what did we do wrong? What do we need to do better for next?
100%. So you got to re-gear yourself up here. Obviously, it's going to be a long weekend, so you still have time here regardless. So obviously, it doesn't really feel good to start off with that loss in the series, but you want to just be able to kind of throw that away. But we'd love to give a huge thank you to our presenting sponsor. It is Visit Raleigh. Visit Raleigh. With your support, it's been absolutely incredible and crucial here to the operations here at the Carolina Collegiate Clash Fall 2025. And just want to say thank you to the wife and helping us partner with NC State University to host this event, because I don't know about you, Skyline, we've been to a lot of lands, and this one looks pretty sharp, man.
I will say NC State as well. Give a shout out to NC State in general, being able to use their campus and the esports program staff that has helped us being able to like behind the scenes and everything between the observers and the people managing the streams. Just such a huge help. And I mean, the esports arena itself just looks amazing. Raleigh is always a beautiful city. I'm from the area. I live within an hour, and I know it's about a little bit further away, but we still live in North Carolina, and obviously having a place like this to come to and just be able to share the love of Rocket Rocket League and esports, and whether it's watching, playing, casting, whatever you want to call it,
Yep.
it's still a fun time all the less.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big advocate, obviously, of esports. That goes without saying, but also hockey, too. Hurricanes here in the city of Raleigh, too. So many things to do. So if you're planning your next event, a group trip, even a solo getaway, it doesn't matter what. We highly recommend Raleigh, North Carolina. Head over to visitraleigh.com. That's visitraleigh.com. Or find them on social media for ideas, itineraries, anything and everything that you need to plan your trip. Well, again, the championship of C3 continues after this quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody, to the C3 lane, the Carolina Collegiate Clash. I am your host, Skyline, and once again, we are here with a new face. It's not Bear Light anymore. Let's go ahead and introduce yourself. Who are you? And
my name is Colson, and I am very close with the NC State squad. I've been casting C3. If you guys have seen me over on that broadcast for, I don't know how long. I casted a lot of the weeks over there, and I had a blast doing it. But in this game, it's UNC Greensboro versus UNC Asheboro, and having played against UNC Greensboro in another tournament that we hosted, shout out NC State, esports at NC State, I've played against Fatu and Natella in a twos tournament. So I'm actually going to give my vote in favor of them for this tournament, because when I played them, they were gross. And I think they're going to be able to bring it to the UNC Asheville players.
Yes, and as someone who has followed them around a lot, as someone who actually graduated from Greensboro with their bachelor's degree, and a lot of people don't know this about myself, but I actually am the one who started the Rocket League scene at UNC Greensboro. So I know a lot about it, and I've been involved in it, and currently I'm involved as I'm the manager of them. So I've been able to kind of watch the progression as they go along, and they've been a strong team. Obviously, they've had their downfalls here and there, and Asheville is still a good team that is sitting right below them as the 5 and 6 seeds, Greensboro being that 5th, Asheville being 6th. But I have high hopes for both sides. Obviously, you'll hear maybe a little bit of bias towards Greensboro, but either way, I'm going to cast a fair match here no matter what. Whoever wins, wins. But obviously, at the end of the day, I also have to side with the Greensboro a little bit on my end.
I think it's going to be an interesting game regardless. Obviously, Asheville deserves to be here, right? It's not like there's some slouch of a team, but I think that UNCG just takes it by a hair. I think this series, it's either going to be a sweep or it's going to go to 5. In my head, that's where it's going to go. I think if Asheville shows up to play today, it will be a best of 5, and then it's going to be anyone's game. But I think if Greensboro shows up and feels ready and warm, especially after traveling. I know both teams traveled here, but I think if Greensboro feels good and ready after their travels, I think it's going to be a tough team to beat.
In Greensboro, I believe they've gone 5-2 in the year, and the only 2 teams they've lost to are Winthrop Garnett, which they lost in 5, I believe, and then they played Clemson A, and they also lost to Clemson in 5. So 2 losses coming at very close matchups, and all the rest being like sweeps or 3-1s. I mean, they are a contender for this whole entire scene that I feel like they get underrated just because of maybe like who they've played in during the league play, because I don't think they went against Charlotte or South Carolina, and those are 2 of the top teams here. I know Winthrop Garnett technically is the 2nd seed because they got that upset, but realistically, Charlotte, they've won the past 3 tournaments here, and they're looking for a 4th. And I'm actually currently looking at the screen in front of us because they're playing against Winthrop Garnett. Winthrop is up 1-0 right now against Charlotte, which I believe they played earlier in one. The only loss that Winthrop had was against Charlotte in the league place earlier in the year. So might be a switch up because Hey, lanes, anything can happen. Players feel different. It feels uncomfortable to them. So whoever is going to be more comfortable in these situations is usually going to pull through.
I agree, especially with a team like Winthrop, right? I mean, they have Percy, Tikrel, and Garrett on their main roster. This is
Yep.
their B roster,
Yep.
and they're taking it to UNC Charlotte, which, again, like
Yep.
you said, they have 3 tournament wins so far. They have every single C3 tournament win up until this point. I mean, I don't know if you guys could hear. I don't know how sensitive these mics are, but Charlotte was actually just able to score as the players are starting to join into our lobby. I think we have Fatu, Nutella, Mac. I don't know who else is there. I can't see it anymore. The timeout just happened. But I think we have 8 people in here. Hopefully, we're able to get this started soon for you.
We had someone have to redo the tutorial, so it's taking a little bit extra. But yeah, we do have Buttercup. I can't even read that name because it's blurred out.
Nice.
Mac, Nutella, Flaky, and Fatu. So obviously, this is going to be a good matchup nonetheless as we finally get into the lobby and underway here. We have UNC Asheville versus UNC Greensboro, a battle of the UNC cities, but which one will come out on top, we will not know until the end of this best of 5.
Tella taking this one, trying to get it off the backboard to himself, but unfortunately not enough boost to get back down to it. The pressure for UNC Greensboro is already building and already leads to their first goal. Fatu to Flaky and putting UNCG up by 1 just 12 seconds into game number 1.
Yeah, just a strong start. You see Nutella immediately going for that double tap, getting aggressive, and then Fatu trusting in it, staying up just in case for the miss, and then third man falling immediately. Just those 1, 2, 3 plays that you see them trusting each other, knowing to be in the right spots. But they got to continue this throughout the day because that might be once that happens, but the only way you're going to win series like this is if you continue it so consistently. And right now, UNCG still keeping a lot of pressure, but all 3 commit, and that's just going to be open net for Asheville. Like I said, you can have all the players in the world stay aggressive, but if you're not playing in the right positions at the right time, stuff like that can happen.
And UNC Asheville, I know we were both praising and singing about UNCG, but UNCA is also another underrated team. They also didn't have the hardest schedule to get here, but they deserve to be here nonetheless. And that's shame on me for being the one that's supposed to be favoring UNCA, especially when you have so much favor for UNCG personally. But I think they deserve to be here. I think this is going to be a close matchup, especially if we can see them break away on counterattacks, break that rotation of UNCG, and get some quick counters. I think that would be their key to staying in this series.
Any team can win on any given day, and right now Asheville's trying to be that team that puts together a show as we see the demos coming out. Nutella getting the flip reset, Flaky with a follow, and Greensboro once again striking with the hot iron with the 1-2 for 2, going for the demo, just causing so much disruption on that back line. And all Flaky has to do is trust in his teammate to get it mid if he can't score, and exactly what happens.
Beautiful play coming out from UNCG, clearing the lane, trusting each other. Beautiful team play as the demo comes out in favor of UNCA, but Nutella up off the ceiling again, where he's been so dangerous, getting it past 1, over to Flaky, making a miss, getting there faster, and UNCG takes a 3-1 lead.
This is what I like about teams like this, is being able to allow your first man to go in and do whatever they want on the ball, whether it's flip resets, double taps, you name it, and having that second man just wait in the middle in case anything goes awry and they can't even put that ball in the back of the net. And that's exactly what Greensboro's capitalizing. Flaky already has a hat trick just from being able to put himself wait in that mid, let Nutella do all the work, Fatu get those demos, and they just transition so well together. But Asheville trying to get right back onto that blue half and transition on their own. But right now, Greensboro is just shutting them down at every single turn.
Buttercup taking this one off his own back wall, 50'd out in the midfield by Flaky. The midfield presence for UNCG has been immaculate so far. Keeping it in the blue corner, the lead starting spot is what UNCG is good at. Fatu getting back onto this ball, 50ing out Mac by 1, trying to get it over Buttercup, but Buttercup makes a great pass back to his teammate. Trying to get this one around over to last back Flaky, able to clear this one out, trying to get a quick counter, but Mac able to pop this one back out. Popped midfield, but no one is there. Low boost from UNCG. The midfield presence from UNCA is doing wonders for them so far. As this one pops back down, Flaky fakes jump, goes up for it again, trying to get this over. Fatu up in the air, but a great clear coming out from Mac. Almost a quick counter, but Nutella does well to keep this pressure on for UNCG. Popping it off the backboard. Oh, a pop out too, but Flaky able to put this one back into the orange corner as the pressure continues to build. Fatu trying to pop this one back to himself, trying to get it down. Mac trying to put this one away. Nutella with a shot, but it is saved away into the orange corner once again.
Asheville just holding on with every breath they take on that back line, just trying to keep it out of the back of their net. They've already allowed it in 3 times. Don't want a 4th here, as Greensboro still trying to press the offensive, as once again they've just been able to make all these turns and go through. And you might be hearing it get a little loud, I don't know if you can, but Winthrop Garnett just took a 2nd game off Charlotte. Charlotte now down 2-0 in the series, having to get a reverse sweep. So already an interesting start to the day. The 2 might upset the 1, and right now we have the 5 against the 6 in Greensboro Asheville, and Greensboro is not looking to get upset here, as they are still up 3-1 in this series, or in this game specifically, and looking to add another as Nutella going for the shot. And just so much pressure on this orange half has been accumulated by the Spartans, and right now this Asheville team cannot seem to catch a break.
Keeping the pressure on Asheville, trying to fake out a bump coming out, keeping that pressure from the offense away. Nutella popping this one back up to himself, trying to get over the last back 2. He able to get a touch on the back line, but the aggression from UNCG is still pressing to go. Buttercup trying to get this one. Flaky fakes him out, fakes it out for Nutella, but IM is able to be there one more time. IM trying to pop this one down. Buttercup last back. Nutella and Flaky in the wing, but Buttercup with full boost. Nutella with none. Demo comes out, and a great save comes out from IM, keeping this a 2-score game. Quick shot comes out, but Fatu able to be there. IM getting a demo. The pressure from UNCA starting to build, but a pass over Nutella to Flaky, bar down and in. They can get a 4-1 lead for UNCG.
I don't know how many times we're going to say this series, let alone this game, Colson. I mean, Nutella to Flaky. It's simple as that. 4 goals from Flaky. I believe it's 4 assists from Nutella. Just the 1-2 over and over and over again. And hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Exactly the way of UNCG, and they are going to continue this, as Fatu has been so good on the off ball. So again, we've been talking about these two with Flaky and Nutella being able to keep that pressure on as the 1-2, being able to get these goals. But Fatu, you see him constantly going through these demos, rotating in and out, clearing the space to allow them to have this much to be able to create these plays. And you see him once again going on that backboard. Asheville is being so smothered right now with player after player that they just cannot catch their breath. Everything is being sent at this back line, and nothing is going the way of Asheville, as they are holding on with only 15 seconds remaining. You gotta pretty much call this game over unless a goal can come through, and maybe 2 kickoff goals. But unless this goes in, hanging by a thread, still with 5 seconds remaining, Asheville gets one for morale support, but that is not going to be enough to win this game. I still think Spartans have this one secured.
Yeah, I think this game is all but over. Right now, Asheville is able to get one for the road, get one for the confidence, just like you said, but I don't think it's enough, at least in this game. There's a lot to be happy with if you are a UNCA fan, but UNCG will come away with this game number 1 victory as the ball hits the ground. Like you said, smothering play coming out from UNCG. UNCA just couldn't deal with it. They didn't have that midfield presence. They didn't have the pressure that they needed to break into it. Flaky coming out with 4 goals, 3 assists from Nutella and 1 from Fatu. 100% goal participation on the side of Asheville. Buttercup able to get 1. There was 1 unassisted goal from UNCA, but like you said, this game was all UNCG.
I mean, you just love to see when teams are able to have that kind of flow state together, be able to create that pressure and trusting each other that quickly. As we see 12 shots in total from Greensboro compared to 5 from Asheville, that tells you the difference of how much pressure was put on each side. And I know during the series itself in the game, we were talking about how much Greensboro was on that orange half. I guarantee if we saw like a ball possession screen, it'd probably say something along the lines like 60-40 or something like that with Greensboro possession. They're going to be looking to continue this here in game 2. But we might have Asheville. They're going to be looking to come back with a vengeance here. We saw them. They were struggling on that back line. They need to get more aggressive if they want to end up taking this series. They need to trust each other more, because right now, all this pressure that they're allowing onto their half is keeping them stumped. And they have to get these touches if they want to win, because right now they are just so stuck like glue. It's it's a very fair comparison of the two, but it's so true. They just don't know how to get out their own half until finally a clear comes through and maybe a shot, but no one to follow up in time, and that's just going to be a save from Gnutella. What a save it is, having to backflip that one out.
Pressure from UNCA has started in this game number 2. Let's see how UNCG responds with a quick shot, but it is saved away. I don't know if the mics are picking this up, but it is getting loud here at LAN. The players are getting rowdy and into these series. Quick pass, monster to Buttercup, but a great save coming out from Flaky. I like the ideas coming out from UNCA, but we need to see a little bit more aggression. We need to pull out the defender, because right now all 3 defenders are back for UNCG, and these shots are going into 3 people. It is what it is. I love that what I'm seeing from Asheville is the aggression as this pass comes back down, but unfortunately we need a little bit more creativity on that offense if something's going to come out. Gnutella able to beat one out over to Fatu, and a quick goal, making it 1-0 with 1:30 into game number 2.
The teamwork will work for the team. Gnutella to Fatu. Gnutella has been the setup man. Something that I thought he would be more of the scorer. Knowing him, he is a very mechanical player. He loves to be able to push into the other opposing side, be able to expose them for not being able to keep up with him, essentially. But right now, he's using those mechanics to help propel his team, and that's exactly what you want to see. He's being a team player, and that is what Greensboro needs if they want to win this game, if not this tournament. A lot of these players are going to come in, just try to go for solo plays and rely on their second, third man to follow in, hoping that they can maybe get something through and hope it goes their way. Players like Gnutella's doing right now, and like we talked about with Fatu and Flaky also, they're being able to create more space for their teammates. They're working around each other. They're keeping pressure on by going for these demos. I can say it over and over again as much as I want because I can point out the obvious, but they're doing so well at it, and that's why I keep pointing it out, is because you rarely see teams like this being able to do stuff like this. Like I said, Gnutella would be the mechanical man, and hey, if he gets some passes and assists, might as well get some goals. What a double tap read, being able to read that off the downpour from the backboard.
Beautiful play coming out from the side of UNCG. The aggression that UNCA had at the very beginning of this series, or this game number 2, is all but gone as they try to get back into it. A pass from IM over to Fatu. This 50'd out Flaky with a 1v1, able to 50 low and get another goal. The aggression from UNCG playing for one another, like you said, is paying off in spades.
I mean, just hit the gym, Mac. That's as simple as I could say. Just powering his way through his Flaky, and Asheville little by little falling apart. We saw them go down 3-0 or 3-1 last game. Well, they're down 3-0 and it's not even halfway through the second game. UNCG just turning on to 11 right now on this level of 10. As Fatu once again trying to go in quick, but not able to, as the bumps coming in from I am trying to clear it out, but once again, just Greensboro cutting in over and over again. And like I said, they haven't had a meeting yet this season, so it's been very separate for the amount of teams they played and what kind of teams they have played. But even so, each team has matched up to their own in their own respect, and have gotten here, making the top 8. I believe it was like 13 or 14 teams in the league for the Premier. So congrats to them making it this far, but this is just group stages, so all of them will make it till tomorrow. So tomorrow is what matters. But right now, this is kind of a preview of what we might see for tomorrow. And if Greensboro look as strong as this, then I can see them going far and be an underdog story. Asheville, though, if they continue playing like this, they look so awkward, clustered together. And as you can see there, another one going from Fatu off the Doomsy dish, off that back wall. They're just not being able to get opportunities out of their own half.
Unfortunate for UNCA, but there is still a lot of Rocket League left to play. We saw the creativity on the offense for UNCA. They just need to be able to pull out one more defender, and I think some goals will start to go in. Maybe something off the kickoff, but Gnutella does well. A bump comes out, but a great free jump coming out from Gnutella yet again. Fatu tries to get one, but I am able to get him around. Trying to pop this one back down. Both teammates go. Double the players, double the chance of success, but still UNCG able to bring this one back into their half. Trying to make a quick goal. 2 demos on the back line. Great play from UNCG as they go up 5-0 in game number 2.
I mean, just it's a UNCG bonanza. The Spartans are clashing with these Bulldogs, and these Bulldogs cannot handle the spear of a Spartan. Just 5-0 in game 2. Game 1, we saw a 4-2 ending. And right now, it just looks like they do not want to slow down whatsoever. They're trying to build up the score as much as possible. And you might have just heard a pop-up behind me. We just had an upset alert. Winthrop Garnett, the 2 seed, takes down Charlotte in sweeping fashion as the 1 seed goes down. The winner of the past 3 tournaments being able to go down, and as I say that, finally a goal going on target for Asheville as we have so much happening at once. But wow, Winthrop Garnett taking down Charlotte in a sweep. What do you think about that?
As much as I would like to think about that, I am locked in on this series. If you want to hear more about that, head on over to the A stream. We have Somber and Bearlight, I'm sure, talking about that series. But here we go. UNCG, Flaky off the ceiling, trying to get this one back down to a teammate, but a great pop save coming out from UNCA. Buttercup trying to get this one past another, but Fatu able to take this one into the corner and take it himself. Mac, low boost, still trying to get a challenge, but it is in the blue corner, not threatening at all for this UNCG team. Nutella trying to take it the whole way down the pitch, but Buttercup able to make the save at the last stop. Buttercup trying to do it himself, trying to get it over one, but Fatu able to get there yet again. Nutella and Fatu, the dynamic duo that they are taking it to this UNCA squad.
UNCA trying to keep that pressure on with only 20 seconds remaining. This game is pretty much said and done, but they're trying to get one more from morale boost, but it might be Nutella scoring on the counterattack as Spawns just tries to flip it a little too quickly, and that's going to be a double tap for Nutella, a free lane that he's going to take, and only 1 goal off of a Brazil watch here for UNCG.
We're headed on our way down to South America. 14 seconds to do it. This game is going to go in favor of UNCG. We'll see if either of these teams are able to get one more. I am trying to get one more for his team. Fatu able to keep this one out of the net. Hopefully popped out. This ball just needs to hit the ground, and does. UNCG going up 2-0 in the series against UNCA.
Yeah, Greensboro a lot more dominant than it was the previous game. The previous game still a little bit close 4-2, even though they still looked really good. In this game, they're just putting out more. Again, 12 shots, same exact as last time, but they scored almost double the goals. And UNCA actually had more shots than last game. They had 9 in total. And the save difference as well. I mean, 5 saves from Greensboro and 6 saves from Asheville, still very close. And we can say how close the shots were, how close the saves were. But the scoring total shows a whole different story. I mean, 6-1 just shows you how much, even though they had all these opportunities, which team could actually capitalize on them and which team fell a little bit short.
Unfortunately, I think that is the theme of this series so far. UNCA, I think, had a long commute. I think that fatigue from that drive and that commute is starting to get to them just a little bit. UNCG has been able to take that commute and overcome it. They did travel a long distance to get here, and they are proving why they should be here. Blakey bumps Nutella just for fun as Mac tries to get a 50, and then both of them 50. Another UNCA player trying to stay on the ball. Harassment is going to be the name of the game. As UNCA gets a quick shot, but not enough power to get by the great defense of Flaky. Buttercup popping this one over to Flaky. Flaky taking it on the back wall, maybe looking for a teammate, trying to 50 it out. Nutella does great to get under it, but Buttercup with a beautiful save, clearing it back into the midfield. But this UNCG pressure is on yet again. Fatu over to Flaky. Flaky looking for the double on bar down. Bang! What a beautiful shot, making it 1-0 in favor of UNCG.
I mean, what else can you say about Flaky, man? So inspirational. The shot goes through off the double tap, and he might have been getting the passes and being able to follow them through, but he can create some of his own, man, and it's just so good to see from Greensboro and Asheville. They need to be able to get a little bit more aggressive. Like, I haven't seen a lot of bumps come out from them. Greensboro, you've seen them go out the wazoo for bumps. They left and right, bump, Dimbo. I don't know how many we've had, but it's been a lot. Asheville probably has had not even a third of the amount that Greensboro has had, and that's what's allowed Greensboro to be so aggressive and trust themselves, even on a lane setting. And as I say that, Asheville, Buttercup finally able to put one through off the pass from IM. Greensboro just too awkward on the back end. A good 50 from Buttercup, and he's able to follow down one up with no boost.
This this could be UNCA's biggest success and your biggest nightmare. Reverse sweep is now in the cards after a lot of unanswered goals from UNCG. Asheville is back in this series. It starts with game number 3, and then they need 4 and 5, and they'll be able to take it. But UNCG is not going away. Flaky off the crossbar for 2, over to himself, back down for Nutella, but a great clear. This could be the counterattack. Buttercup 1v1, trying to get the shot around another. What a beautiful shot from Buttercup, doing it himself with 2 goals. Back in this series, UNC Asheville goes.
Asheville finally getting back on top, and Flaky just missing the corner boost on his rotate, a detriment to his own, and that's going to be the downfall of him not being able to save that, as Asheville able to get that one through and take the first lead of the series after finally getting in game 3, but they gotta hold it as Greensboro slowly falling apart, but they're gonna be trying to keep it right back on, as once again we'll see them try to cut quick, and Asheville's ball pressure has definitely been a lot more. We've seen it on that blue half a lot more than we have in the previous games, and they're looking to keep it on. And that main man, Buttercup, is the one to thank for it. Him and IM have been putting so much pressure on him. Mac has been doing a great job on the defense to help steady it out and be able to progress. And this is what Asheville would love to see, it be more consistent. We haven't seen the past 2 games. But right now, here comes the Spartans trying to get demos, not able to get much of it, and it's just a 50 in the midfield that leads right back into the possession of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, dominance coming out in the first 2 games from UNCG, but that dominance can come to bite you. You can start to check out just a little bit when you feel you have the series on lock, and that is my biggest worry right now for UNCG. They are the more mechanical team, and if they wake back up, I think the series goes to them. What a beautiful passing play, mechanics on show. Nutella to Fatu, beautiful play tying this game up with 3 minutes remaining.
Well, you talk about waking up, and I think Fatu just had a sip of coffee, because that was surely a wake-up call for him. A great shot past 2 players, sky high into the crossbar and through. That's going to be 2 goals, tied to 2 for UNCG and UC Asheville, as we see a fake coming here. Flaky trying to get a little too aggro as third, and that's going to be a goal opportunity just missed. And something I would say for most players, if you're a player or even if you watch, the hardest game to win in a series is always the last one. If you're up 2-0, 3-0, 2-1, whatever the series score is, if you are on match point, it is always the hardest to win, because you're trying to think, okay, we just need one. You're going in your head over and over again. But a lot of the times they overcomplicate this kind of stuff, because you're trying to think too much into, okay, we have to play perfect in order to. You don't need to play perfect, you just play how you did before, but better. And that's exactly what Greensboro is trying to get back into, and Asheville's trying to adjust to this. So far, Asheville's done a great job, but Fatu almost making them pay for a little bit playing out that net, and a shot going through, but IM with a great save, and Asheville once again holding on.
Asheville digging themselves into this series, playing for one another, forcing the first man. They're going to have to do it again here. Buttercup needs to go up for Mac, and does, but he does also get the touch into the corner. Flaky able to steal this one off, popping this one over, but a great challenge causes this one to go careening into the opposite orange corner. Mac trying to do it himself, trying to get around Flaky as Nutella tries to get a bump as well. Pass down. Flaky to Fatu. Fatu keeping this one close, but Buttercup goes early, able to get this one by the UNCG players. A whiff on the back line, and just like that, Mac is in this game. 3-2 for UNC Asheville.
And Nutella with the misread, thought it was going to pop out a little bit more, so he played closer to get that quick speed off that bounce. But that just stuck to the wall almost, and that's just going to be a free shot for Mac, as that was sitting on the goal line pretty much. I mean, if you miss that, then we might have to call up the higher-ups and ask what's going on. It might be rigged. But luckily for them, Mac was able to put that one through, as Greensboro now trying to find how to get back into this. Fatu trying to get the 50 quick to Flaky. Flaky has been the man to score this series, but not able to get that one through, as it's a little bit too high. Nutella playing the pass back middle, the 1-2 going through, and Nutella to Flaky. We've said it before and we'll say it again. The play's coming out from Greensboro, and it'll go through.
Just like I said earlier, double the players going for the ball, double the chance to score, and this one pays off in spades. Both players from UNCG diving on that one, and it ends up faking out that last back defender and tying up this game. Nutella on the ball, but I am sending it early. Asheville has started to figure out the rotation for UNCG. Now they just have to figure out the mechanics. Pops this one over, but Buttercup is amazing getting this last save. Mac beautiful force for his teammates. But here comes UNCG once again. Flaky faking out one over the second. Mac, last back, able to get the 50 on one. Will you be able to do it again? You are. Nutella with the patience, but it is popped out over towards UNCA. He hits it directly into Nutella, and just like that, after UNCA leads the whole game, number 3, UNCG takes the late lead.
Do I see Shaquille O'Neal, or did I just see a man get dunked on? Because that's exactly what Nutella just did to send that 4th goal through and give them the lead back with only 39 seconds remaining. Now we'll have to see if Asheville can pull through, and these Bulldogs are looking to bark up a storm, but not unless the Spartans shut them down, shield and spear in hand, and they are going to try to finish off this series in a sweeping fashion.
Scoreline getting closer to like it was in games number 1 and number 2. It just took a little bit longer to get there, but get there it did regardless. 30 seconds left, 2-goal difference in game number 3. UNCG looking to close this one out. UNCA looking to hold on. I am trying to pass this one out. Gets it by Nutella. The Flaky is there. Long clear to an open net, and just like that, UNCG has doubled the score of UNCA.
I was about to say, with all these UNCs, it's hard to keep track of the A and the G, but right now the A is falling short to the G as what seemed like a close game, and Asheville finally getting back into it and adjusting to this Greensboro squad. Looking to, again, fall short. Greensboro got more accustomed as the match went on and were able to get more in that comfortable position that they were used to the first 2 games, and Asheville just not able to keep up with them once they were able to get in that flow state. So once again, Greensboro being able to shut out this series with only 10 seconds remaining, unless Asheville getting a dunk here, and we still have a chance at taking this game to overtime if we can see 2 quick goals from the Bulldogs, but that is a very low chance to happen unless they can get something quick.
Low chance, but it has happened before. I believe it happened in 7 seconds in RLCX. 2 quick goals. This could be it. I am with the ball, but Flaky does well to pop this one into the corner. You need a goal, you need it now. Buttercup trying to make magic happen, but it is sent into the corner. This ball just needs to hit the ground, and it will go in favor of UNCG. Batu trying to get one for the road, but sends it off the post. UNC Greensboro takes it in 3.
Yeah, I was about to say, if Asheville's looking for some magic, then they might want to go to Orlando, because right here in Raleigh, we don't got any, unfortunately for them, as Greensboro do take this one home 3-0. And what a series nonetheless. Still all 2-goal games, at the very least 1 2-goal games. So they were able to keep it close, even though, except for the second game. I forgot second game was blowout 6-1. So we wiped that one off. It wasn't a Brazil, so it doesn't count for Asheville. But either way, Asheville, you saw them at the beginning, is trying to get adjusted, and so was Greensboro. Greensboro second game, they get more comfortable into this. They get adjusted. In third game, Asheville finally turn up the knob. You know, they finally are like, okay, this is what we're doing wrong. This is what Greensboro's doing. Let's try to adjust to it. And then they start falling short because they slow down a little bit. So it's, again, whatever team is on in this land, obviously it sounds stupid, but whatever team is doing the best is going to win, because they're more... They get accustomed to the feel of the PCs, the monitors. Everything's going to feel off, and that is very apparent. But whatever team's able to adjust to them more quickly is going to be the team that comes out on top.
Yeah, and in this match, UNCG was able to take this one away. I think we are going to give a shout out to our sponsors and then take a quick lunch break before we get back into the matches in the afternoon.
In an interview.
We do have an interview?
We do have an interview.
We do have an interview with Batu. Let's go. So we're actually going to send it over to a quick interview with one of the UNCG players.
Welcome back. I'm here after that thriller of a series versus Greensboro Nashville. We have Fatu here, one of the players from Greensboro. Fatu, that series, I mean, did you have to do that to the? I mean, 6-1 in game two, almost the Brazil, and they kept it close going towards the end. But y'all looked like y'all were on a different level compared to the Bulldogs. They were staying aggressive, but y'all just kept hammering them over and over again, demoing them on that back line. How did the teamwork compare to the Bulldogs in order to be able to work so well together in order to beat them?
I feel like we spaced out a little bit more. We were calling each other off on plays, and I mean overall, I feel like our attacks were a little bit more threatening. We were able to take more of their players out.
Yeah, I mean, clearly we saw that as something I was saying on stream is what we mainly saw from y'all is Flaky kind of being that third man, rotating in a second, getting those free shots off Nutella, playing the solo, and you just going for demos, ham and ham. I mean, you literally took a step out of Reddles and Com's playbook at that point, just going for demos. But that's what made y'all such a good team in that situations, is because you were clearing space for your teammates, and the other two were trusting you to be able to get those bumps and clear that space. So that cohesion of being able to work with each other is what leads to one another being able to beat these teams. So y'all have, a good another matches to look ahead. Obviously, this only being the first. Do you have any expectations with you and the team going in for tomorrow? Of like, obviously you still have 2-3 matches ahead of you. Now we have a lunch break, but how confident are you with your teammates and yourself to be able to progress for today, and not only today but tomorrow?
I feel like we can progress pretty well because like today we played really fast paced and really aggressive, and I feel like we can build on that the next coming days.
Yeah, I mean, there's always stuff you can improve on as a team. There's always stuff, whether you think it or not. NRG, I mean, top team just won world championship, and they didn't improve enough. But UNCG will be looking to improve as we see them go throughout the day in Asheville as well. It's only one series, and they still have two more to go. And then tomorrow, obviously, being the big day. So thank you once again, Fatu, for joining me for
Thank
the
you.
interview. Congrats on the win of the 3-0 sweep against the Asheville Bulldogs. But until then, we will be at a lunch break, and we will see you right back here within an hour or so. So until then, see you next time.
I'm tired of waiting, lost while I'm sitting at home. Dream of a new destination, lust for something unknown. Oh, you better leave it alone. And you know I'd rather get up and go. How long can I lie around waiting for it? Sometimes you gotta walk out the door. No limits, no ceiling, no ground. No pressure gonna hold me down. No stopping till I break every rule. No limits to what I can do. Nowhere is too far away. No border gonna stand in my way. No wall that I can't break through. No limits to what I can do. I'm tired of waiting, lost while I'm sitting at home. Dream of a new destination.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Seat Sports League tournament. We are in Raleigh, North Carolina. And to start us off, I would like to give a shout out to our sponsor, Visit Raleigh. Their support has been essential and the reason that we are here today. Students are able to compete for a prize pool, and this is awesome. If you have a big event, group trip, or anything, try to get to Raleigh, North Carolina. We also have another sponsor, Skyline. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have done it without the campus inside of Raleigh, and that's NC State University. The Wolfpack themselves repping it right there on the shirt. It's an amazing campus, such a beautiful campus, I will add, to be on. And I mean, their library, huge. I saw a lot of students, even though it's a Saturday being here, you can tell that they're learning a lot. And speaking of students being here, I know a lot of the crew from NC State has been working hard to make sure that this event is running smoothly and everything's going well. So big shout out to them and all of NC State for being able to allow us to hold competitions like this, where teams all across the Carolinas can come and just have a blast, whether it's playing against rivals or friends or whatever, just all competing in one spot trying to win that championship trophy.
It has been a blast so far, and we have more Rocket League for you today. Our next match is going to be between is beginning. Nutella and Steve on the kickoff. I think after the showings that I've seen so far, UNCG might have the edge, but the squad for UNCW is strong. Both teams have played great team offense, forcing for one another, as this one could start out, but a great save by Sluggish. What do you think this match is going to be like, Skyline?
Not too sure. I believe both teams right now are 1-0. I know Greensboro is, and I know Wilmington started out 1-0 with a 3-1 win over NC State. So they're going to be, both teams are going to be looking to capitalize on that, because this will be a big one to determine possibly who gets the number 1 seed going in. Well, if I say number 1 seed, number 1 seed out of this group, with number 5 in total going in tomorrow, making the matchup possibly easier. But either way, each team are going to be looking to take it home here, as we see game 1 already starting off with a bunch of aggression from both sides. You see UNCG, once again, what we saw last game, going for a lot of those demos, trying to clear that space. But same thing from Wilmington. They're trying to keep it on that Spartan half and get some pressure of their own. But right now, the Spartans doing a great job of being able to keep it in that corner. Fatu trying to get the pass over on that backboard, but Nutella able to follow it up. A good bump puts it right back into it, as Reticle taking that touch, and Flaky ends up overcommitting. And a team bump coming out there, maybe a premature high five from the two, as that's just going to lead nowhere. Back to their own half, though, as Sluggish not able to get any good contact off it, and that's going to go right back to the Spartans.
I think there's going to be a lot of poking prodding. That's my go-to line, especially in game 1s, especially against teams that are both 1-0 in their group. Like you said, this might be the match that determines the number 5 seed or the number 1 in this group, as the pass comes down for 2 to Flaky, but a great save coming out from Reticle. Great team play coming out from both teams so far, forcing each other on the back line, passing to each other on offense. So far, Reticle seems to be content with letting his team take the brunt of Flaky and Fatu's offense, and Nutella seems content just letting his team put in work. This ball goes into the corner. Flaky gets 50 out by Sluggish, and it stays in that orange corner. 2 players from UNCW go, and both miss. Nutella popping it over both. Flaky could shoot and does, but Reticle makes a great save on the back line as he gets bumped by both UNCG players. Bar down and in. Nutella able to slot one and putting UNCG up 1-0 halfway through game number 1.
I was like, Greensboro putting a lot of pressure onto this Wilmington half, where we just see them being berated with shots, but none of them going through, until finally one going off the crossbar down and in, as we see Greensboro taking the lead here, as half of this game pretty much already gone. As now we see Wilmington trying to get right back into it, but the bumps once again coming out for Greensboro. Shot goes on Sluggish with a good save out to the corner, trying to take control, as Nutella going to stay on this ball and force for Flaky. Flaky playing it out quick, as we see the aggression trying to mount again for the Spartans, but these Hawks are slowing them down. Another pass going out to the middle, no one to follow, and again it's just back and forth in the middle. The demo trade goes through, that shot's far off, and Spartans will try to recollect this unless that shot goes on, but a good block from Fatu is going to keep it out.
Midfield pressure there for both teams, as there's a strong shot on target, but a great save by Sluggish. Bumping Flaky, still staying on the ball, but Sluggish gets control of it, dropping it in front of his own net. Nutella trying to capitalize on that mistake, but Steve does well to pop this one through. Blakey trying to buy time for his team, get some boost. Nutella trying to beat out the last, but Reticle is there, able to pop this one back mid. Steve holding that midfield pressure. Nutella is up, but puts it into the corner where we picked up by Sluggish. Whiff comes out from Steve. Bump gets put on to Reticle. Fake comes out from Flaky. Awkward play, but it is working out in favor of UNCW. Sluggish takes this one up, trying to get it down to Steve. Steve puts one on, but is slow and will be recovered. Demo on the back line. This could be a chance for UNCG, but Sluggish able to pop this one back to the midfield.
Wilmington doing a good job of getting it right back down into this blue half as we see Sluggish trying to keep pressure on. It might be a little bit of an overcommit as the whiff comes out on that sidewall, and that's going to go right back into the hands of Steve. Shot goes on. Nutella tries to float one in, but Sluggish again with that save on the back line. Steve just cutting his own teammate off. A little bit of miscommunication there might lead to a goal from Greensboro, but luckily for Wilmington, not going to read any avail to that. So again, Flaky's going up high, trying to take to the skies. Beats over one. We saw a big game from Flaky game 1 of the last series, seeing if he can maybe put up some more, as we haven't seen any goals from him, as only 1 goal's happened this game so far. A very close game, and I expect a close series as well, because I think whenever I talked to the Greensboro boys, they said that this series in league play went to either 4 or 5. I believe it was 4, if I'm correct, to where they still ended up taking the W, but with a close series like this, I mean, you can tell by the score itself. It's 1-0 right now, and it's looking as Wilmington might try to get a goal here within the next 20 seconds to try to tie this one up, but Greensboro is still keeping the aggression on. Only 15 seconds remaining as, again, Fatu trying to keep that press on, leaves for Flaky. Flaky, 10 seconds remaining, just trying to make sure that any goal doesn't happen for the Wilmington side, and Nutella shuts that down and puts the nail in the coffin for game 1, as that's just a great play from the force and the shot, going to put them 2-0 up.
Barring an absolute miracle coming out of UNCW, this first game will go to Greensboro, and it's deserved. The pressure we saw that they had against UNC Asheville is doing wonders for them so far. There was a little kickoff trickery, but fortunately for Greensboro, they were able to solve it. Sluggish elects to drop this one down to the ground, and UNCG takes this game number 1.
I'll say hickory tickory, here comes the trickery, but nothing to come of it for either team as both teams missed the ball. Either way, the Greensboro putting on a strong showing, in Nutella 2 goals off the 2 assists from Fatu and Flaky, going back to their old roots of being able to keep that aggression on as a team and being able to create the space downfield and open it up. And even if one player can't put it through, we'll see someone always following up at second, ready to put it in if they can't. So a great job from Nutella to be that man who was the passing guy in the first series, now to be the shooting guy, which I talked about as, you know, he's the mechanical guy. You expect him to be the one to score out of most, you know, the others, Fatu and Flaky, even though they're still good in their own regard. But Nutella putting up the numbers, you know, I at least expected of him, and they're looking to continue this against Wilmington.
Yeah, and I know we're giving a lot of praise to UNCG, but we cannot forget about UNCW. They did not go away. It was a low-scoring game until the very end, where UNC had to send it just a little bit to make sure that they could get one into the net, and because they overextended, UNCG was able to capitalize on it. UNCW looking to get back into this series. UNCG looking to keep the pressure on and keep it going. UNCW is a great team, but so is UNCG. I'm looking to see a little bit more of a connection between Fatu and Nutella. Nutella, I know, got both goals, but we saw Flaky and Fatu shooting and passing to one another, where that isn't the standard. I don't know if that's the game plan from UNCW or UNCG. It worked out effectively for UNCG, so I still want to see a little bit more from them. We saw it in the Asheville series, where it was just, it seemed like every passing play was between them, and it led to some crazy results, dominant games from them. Now, I'm rooting for UNCW. I'm looking for a little bit more creativity on that offensive line. You know, I like the booming clears on target and trying to get that pressure on, but there isn't much the way of passing, making room for one another, and that's what worked against NC State in the first series. They were able to bump for one another, get each other out of the way, and that's what led to their success. And UNCG has done well to break through that, as a great save comes out from Reticle.
And something I'll point out from last game, as we talked about Wilmington Greensboro is that Wilmington had 8 saves and 11 shots from Greensboro. Something we saw last series was that Greensboro was averaging about 12 shots a game, and they're still keeping that on as we can see how aggressive they like to be. Whether it's a low-scoring game or a high-scoring game, you still see a lot of shots coming out from them because they want to try to make you as awkward as possible with how much they throw on target. And that's exactly what they're going for against Wilmington as well, as we see Wilmington having a very stout defense, being able to hold the line whenever they need to and still keeping it close. But as we can see here, still 0-0. They still got to find their first goal of this series, because right now there's just mistakes like that. The overcommits going through, third man getting dusted in the air by Nutella. Nutella gets his 3rd goal of the series with only 3 goals scored.
I don't think third man expected Nutella to go for that, but like you were saying earlier, he is the mechanical player. He will be the one diving for the ball. He will be going quicker than you. You have to be aware of his presence on the field at all times. This one pops back into the corner. Reticle trying to take it up, try to do it himself, maybe popping it over to a teammate, able to get it, but Fatu able to get a hand up and block it. Nutella out to Flaky. Flaky around one, but it's just going to go into the hands of Reticle. Reticle does well to pop it right back to the UNCG team, saying thank you for the pass. Here, have it back. Steve and Flaky get a midfield bump and 50 as this one goes down into the midfield, but Reticle is there for Nutella. Great demo from Sluggish, buying a little bit of time for UNCW, but great presence from UNCG to stay on that ball. Pass coming out over to Fatu. This is what I wanted to see, a bump on the back line. Flaky, can you capitalize on it? No. Steve is going to be there first, and this attack from UNCG has gone away.
Looks like Greensboro, they're still trying to stay aggressive, as you've seen, and still going for those demos, but Wilmington trying to return the favor, as that is just going to be 2 demos back-to-back for Sluggish, but still nothing to capitalize of it, as they all have low boost. They're not able to get really any opportunities off of this because of that boost count. Their management hasn't been the best, and the UNC Greensboro able to capitalize on it when they can, still keeping it this close, though, as Nutella gets a whiff on the backboard. The shot goes on, and finally, the first goal of the series for Wilmington after not getting a single one in game 1. The 1-2, Reticle gets the pass, Nutella gets the whiff, and Sluggish able to put that one past Fatu and Flaky to send it home.
Great change of pace coming out from Sluggish as well. He could have sent it, but the UNCG player was ready for it. So he tapped the brakes for a second, let the player fly by, and that led to the goal for UNCW. But this could be the counterattack. Fatu puts one on, but Reticle is there with the save. No boost on the goal line. What a save, keeping this game tied at 1. Nutella back to Flaky. Flaky trying to make some magic happen, but he doesn't have any boost. Looking for a bump on the back line. Reticle pops it a little too far. Nutella shot, but what a save from Steve, keeping this game tied. UNCG seems to have all the pressure, but UNCW doesn't seem to be folding under it. Quick counterattacks is the name of the game for them so far, and it has been working, but great 50s. Sluggish trying to pass this one over to Reticle. Reticle low boost, and Nutella is quicker, able to get back to this ball, trying to keep this one into the corner. This one's popped out, but sent into the opposite corner. Reticle trying to pop this one over to Sluggish. Sluggish trying to make something happen, but Nutella should be there. Awkward touch. Steve shot, but it is saved away by Flaky.
So far, both teams kind of building a brick wall to their own, as we see 6 saves for Wilmington right now, as they have just been such a dominant force in that backline. Make it 7 now with Sluggish getting another, making a hat trick of saves for him, as he has 3 now. They've just been building it brick by brick, and so far the only sledgehammer to take them down has been Nutella, as we haven't seen any other scoring from any other Spartan member. But this might be here, an open net. Flaky tries to get around it, but can't. That's going to pop up for Sluggish. Sluggish takes the touch out, but it's floating in the middle. It's a dangerous area, but no one on Greensboro is challenging. Finally, we get a touch up from Fatu. Back to the backboard, Sluggish in an awkward spot. It could be an open net. Flaky gets the shot through, and a unfortunate read from the third man on the back line for Wilmington allows Flaky just to have a wide open net, and he's going to take every advantage of that one.
Yeah, great patience coming out from Flaky, forcing the last back UNCW defender to jump just by having his presence near the ball on the goal line. Because of that, he was able to be patient and get a quick goal. Now with 15 seconds left, UNCW will need to send the house if they are going to stay in this game number 2. But Nutella sends an absolute screamer from midfield, and all but wrapping up game number 2.
before this series happened, I will say I went out and had lunch with the Greensboro boys and talked to them about going into the series, what they were expecting, and they said beforehand that Wilmington was a team that was pretty much a rival of theirs because they had beef between each other, whether it's like friendly beef or not, they still had beef, so they were looking to go into the series, and Nutella specifically was the one talking about that, him and Fatu. So I know that the fact that he already has 4 goals in this series out of the 5 that's been scored, he is probably on cloud 9 and looking to capitalize it on even more. But Wilmington, they're going to be looking to try to regroup here. I mean, you get it close within the first half of the game, you're keeping it 0-0, 1-1, and then immediately just turn the tides. You start kind of letting off that gas pedal a little bit and just let Greensboro go at you over and over again. Let them capitalize on what they love to do, which is, again, those demos and passing plays. We see the assists come through. Not as much as this game with Nutella taking it solo, but still, they just create so much for each other that it works such in cohesion.
The thing for UNCW that was working was when they took a page out of UNC Greensboro's book. Say that 5 times fast, huh? But UNCW, when they got the demos, when they were present in the midfield, they were fighting for those mid boosts. That's when we saw the goal come out, when we saw that aggression. And then UNCG, you got to give credit where credit is due. They were able to control that aggression, stay a little bit further back, keep the presence, but allow mistakes to come out from UNCW, avoid the bump, avoid the demo, and it led to some great success. And then again, when you're down with 12 seconds left and you're down a goal, you're going to send the house, and UNCG is able to capitalize on that aggression. Atella has a great, powerful shot, gets it back behind the last back defender, and seals the game for Greensboro. I think unless UNCW is able to keep their own aggression up, this might be a sweep for the Spartans.
Yeah, I mean, 10 shots compared to 4 for Greensboro Wilmington. Once again, you see the aggression coming out and proving worthwhile for the Spartans. As we see the Seahawks just, they're trying their hardest to get onto that blue half, and they're doing a great job at keeping at bay on their own half and not like panicking too much. But, oh, great save from Reticle there. I was about to say it almost cast or cursed it a little bit, but I mean, the defense, like I said, it's stout and it's showing. Reticle a diving save on that goal line. They have been so good at being able to stop so many shots whenever it looks like it's a threat that's an easy goal for the Spartans. But they have to get the offense going and make the Spartans more awkward, because right now Greensboro is still keeping that press on, even with all the pressure that Wilmington is trying to put right back onto the other half.
Defense is impressive, but offense is what wins you the game. It doesn't matter how many saves or shots you got. All that matters is the big number at the top of the scoreboard. And as of right now, the Spartans are trying to add another great flick from Fatu as it pops up to Steve. But look at that midfield presence come out from Flaky. Reticle trying to get over 2 and does, but Fatu able to get to that ball. Sluggish with his own midfield presence. Nutella popping this up. This could be awkward. Reticle looking for a shot. Gets it, but it's a little bit high. One Greensboro defender missed, but Flaky does well to bail out his team. Missed boost grab. This could be UNCW's chance. Low boost for the side of UNCG, but Fatu does well, beating 2 defenders with his full tank of boost, trying to get over the third. Sluggish elects to pop this one back into the corner, and now the pressure is on. Sluggish able to pop this one out and away. Flaky trying to take this one up the wall and do it himself, but great presence there from Steve. The aggression from UNCW is here, and that is why we remain scoreless a minute and a half into game number 3.
We've seen this the past 2 games, and it's just a repeat as we see 0-0 score line until someone's finally able to break the ice within the 2-3 minutes mark, as we see that mark coming up very soon here. So maybe we'll see something go through from one side or the other, whether it's Greensboro or Wilmington, as the pass going down Nutella to Reticle. Maybe not what the Spartans want to see, but a great save from Flaky's going to keep that out. Either way, Wilmington still able to keep the press on. Going over, Nutella has to make the diamond save off the corner, and he does. Fatu gets the pinch out, but it's still in the half of Greensboro. All of them low boost, trying to get the bang out, but just gives it right back to Wilmington. They're not keeping control of the ball whatsoever. They're just making panic touches, trying to clear it out. And in some situations, that's what you need, but right now it's just giving every opportunity right back into the hands of Wilmington. Greensboro finally able to get out of their own half and try to put a shot on to create some pressure. But Reticle once again playing that out to the corner. Steve trying to get the dive. Nutella keeping it in quick, trying to get another off the backboard. Sluggish is awkward, leaves for Reticle. Reticle once again trying to advance the counter-attack play as Flaky's awkward on the back end. And again, the 50 coming out, the shot going through, but a save on the back line once again. The defense is holding strong for both sides. Which one's going to break through first? Greensboro or Wilmington?
I think your answer is going to be the team that gets more creative. One of the things that led UNCG to with early success in the first 2 games was their creativity on offense. They were passing to one another. I called for Nutella and Fatu to pass more a little bit, but Flaky and Fatu were doing a great job, and we haven't seen that right now. We're just seeing shot after shot on target, but they're not threatening shots. They're shots that are easily saved away just like that. This could be the pass, Fatu to Nutella, but it goes bar out off the corner. A beautiful shot if it was a centimeter either below or to the side. Wow. The crossbar, the 4th man for UNCW coming out and bailing them out. And that's what they could keep, or what could keep them in this series. Sluggish trying to take this off the ceiling, trying to pop it back down. Flaky goes under him, tries to stay on this ball over another. This could be big. Flaky trying to do it himself, tries to go under, but Reticle has that one red. We need a little infield pass, and I think whichever team does that, Demo's the last man, is going to be the team that comes out on top in this game.
I was about to say, Greensboro hasn't had as much aggression as the past 2 games. The Demos have not seen as much as Reticle having an opportunity there. As all 3 defenders for Greensboro having to dive at that one to make the stop. Flaky gets a 50 out and it's going right to Fatu, but he has no boost. That's still in the hands of Wilmington. This is a very dangerous spot. Low boost all in the back end. Again, a backboard save, having to dive into it, and all 3 players still in a jumbled area right now, trying to put the places in the blocks in place, I should say, looking like a big confused Jenga piece right now. So it's still in the hands of Wilmington again, trying to throw it back in, but they just give it the ball right back up. 30 seconds remaining. This game still at 0-0. We might see the first overtime of the day on the B stream unless Fatu can put it through. It's a wide open net, no one falling for Greensboro, and once again just being bailed out by the miscommunications. Wilmington trying to take it quick with only 10 seconds remaining. Flaky plays it down to Steve. Steve tries to get the pass back, but doesn't have the boost. Now here comes Greensboro going quick, but again Reticle getting the stop. 0 seconds remaining. Ball has to stay up or we have our first overtime, and there we go. Greensboro Wilmington, game 3. Wilmington will not be denied of this series just yet.
I think this is going to be the game that breaks the ice or breaks the back. I think the ice that Wilmington has faced so far could be broken if they are able to get a quick win here. But the longer this series goes on, I think the better, or this game goes on, excuse me, I think the better that Greensboro could be. Their spacing has just looked so much better on offense, and eventually defense breaks down like that. Steve, low boost on the back line. Nutella gets a free shot after that connection I called for. Fatu puts this one up. Nutella is there, puts it under the challenging player and over the last back off the post. What a game from UNCG. Another sweep for the Greensboro squad.
Yeah, I mean, we called it. The play that needed to happen in order to win was a bump play. They needed to get aggressive on that back line, and exactly what we saw. Fatu ends up, instead of going for that double tap, being unselfish and going for that bump instead, that made the 3rd man awkward to allow the open net to come through. This is the type of plays that we're used to seeing teams like Greensboro make, and a lot of these other teams can make as well. But it's in the moment if you're able to be that team that's able to make those sacrifices. I'm not trying to be the showboaty player of like trying to score all the goals. It's who is going to open up and be more of that team player to enable your other teammates. That's going to help you win this tournament. Because right now we're seeing Charlotte winning the past 3. They're looking to come back for a 4th, but they just got upset by one throw, like we said last time. And right now they're playing against South Carolina. I believe that's in game 4 right now, South Carolina up. Charlotte is a team that has always been top tier, and they went 7-0 in group stages. But right now, all these teams are coming out with a vengeance. They're adjusting to how every other team is playing. And right now, the team play is what matters the most. And Greensboro is one of those teams that I still think is going to be a team that can make it up there to the finals with how good they are when they're on point.
I think the duo between Fatu and Nutella is what's going to be the deal maker or breaker for that Greensboro squad. I think if UNCW just continues to be aggressive and tries to find one another in the midfield, looks for those quick passes, I think that's the next and only key that they need to get into that series. They were trying to be aggressive for one another, but there weren't any passes that were direct to other teammates. And if they do that, I think they should do well for the remainder of this tournament. I think that is it for us right now. We have the next series. I'm not sure which teams they're between, but it will be a heater. It will be a banger regardless. It will be UNC Asheville against the NC State Wolfpack. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Welcome back to the Fall 2025 C3 LAN, and we are excited to bring you the next matchup here on the B Stream. We've got NC State here on the NC State channel, by the way, facing off with UNC Asheville again. And these are two teams that are trying to prove themselves, able to make it to LAN, but their next step in the process is to really prove themselves against one of these teams. So, again, this will be a close one that we'll see here and see which team can really manage to get through this matchup.
Yeah, I know, Barely, we casted Asheville versus UNC Greensboro at the start of the day, and you've been kind of switching back and forth between streams, but I've kept my butt flopped here, whether it's between seats here on the B stream, and been able to witness all that's happened for UNCG Asheville and for NC State. And right now, NC State ended up getting swept by Greensboro. Asheville ended up getting swept by Greensboro, and NC State was still able to keep it somewhat close. So I'm looking for them here to kind of get their revenge, trying to go up, especially after losing to Wilmington first matchup of the day, 3-1, which is kind of surprising for them. So we'll see if NC State can bring it back here, but right now they got to try to get it going as we see Asheville trying to start off quick. The pass is going through, and just right like that, they take the lead.
Yeah, that is quick. 1-2 for NC State here. Yeah, as Rocket, again, just gets that quick touch, and it's in the place where the defense can't get to it off that back wall. It's just a good recognition from Rocket. Very smart individual. Stay plugged in Coca-Cola All-Star last year, and certainly you can see that manifest itself on the pitch as he's got all the right decision-making, but there you go. Maple will be credited with that one. 2-0 lead now, so NC State pretty hot coming off that loss.
Yeah, and I just realized I mixed up Wilmington and State. It was actually Wilmington that took that loss against Greensboro. NC State's next. But NC State, I mean, what can you say about them? They are looking hot. I mean, 30 seconds in, and they're already up by 2 goals. Asheville team that's looking to fight back after those losses, and right now they're looking to try to come back after another, because right now they're just taking goal after goal, and then a third goal from NC State, and they are just parading shot after shot.
Call it a homeland advantage, I guess. It seems like it at this point in time, and they're finding the exact right spots too, right in between this defense of UNC Asheville, who feel a little bit lost here in the early stages. Luckily for them, this is just game 1, so you can kind of settle in. You still have 4:20 on the clock in game 1 as well, so you have an opportunity to really get yourself settled, not just for the rest of the series, but in this game. But they have a lot of work to do, because right now it looks like they're scrambling to try to find themselves seated here.
I mean, Asheville right now finally able to get one back, as we see there, a nice little play coming out on the solo from Kuzo. But I was about to say, it looks like they're just taking a little bit too slow. They're allowing NC State to take that press advantage right onto their half, but finally able to get it out with that solo play and able to take it well. I mean, you had one go flying right by you, and the last was awkward trying to go for boost in the corner. That's exactly how Asheville need to play. They need to realize these mistakes that's going on from NC State and this Wolfpack squad that will eventually lead to these openings, as we see right there. Mac almost getting another. But for right now, the Bulldogs have to keep their aggression going and keep it going quickly, or else this Wolfpack attack will just happen to you so quickly.
The pack attack, very well known for it too. And UNC Asheville's been, I've been listening to their comms over there on the far end, actually from where we're stationed here at NC State's lab. A beautiful one, by the way, and big shout out to everybody here at NC State and staff members for being here. But look at this carry. Sunday driver, if you're an Asheville fan, able to fight that one up, but they're looking to really settle down. A lot of times they feel antsy. They're really jumping in on the play and feeling unorganized. It's been manifesting here, but it's looked a lot better in the last minute or so.
And Asheville, that's exactly what they're looking for, but that defense got to hold strong as a shot going on for the Wolfpack and not able to go through. The Bulldogs holding strong, trying to get that 3-goal lead down to 0. And right back in their favor as we see Kuzo again trying to go for that solo play, trying to take it through but can't get it. Sunday driver a little bit too upfield, and that might be a goal, but Mac Monster able to get back even on 0 boost. Ventus going high to the skies, now going for the flip reset down low, but just a little bit too slow as Rocket trying to follow up as the team plays not really working in cohesion just yet unless that dunk goes through. And an open nets for NC State as NC State having to make the back line read. Once again, Asheville being able to mount this pressure slowly but surely after a slow start in the beginning, but finally working their way up and getting that confidence up that we can see from them, but they got to stay consistent with it.
Yeah, exactly. Consistency is everything. You got to be able to play the entirety of the 5 minutes of every single game. And Rocket right now has been trying to just kind of keep them at bay, but they've been having to work a little bit harder to get past this midfield. The presence isn't as heavy as it had been for NC State, and that's why you see them retreating right now. Boost out of the tanks. Maple was able to gather some and get there in time because that looked dangerous, but they're still not out of harm's way quite yet. Kuzo going for the far side flip reset, but couldn't quite utilize it the way that he wanted to pick that far side post.
Kuzo trying to take as many solo plays as he can, and I mean, hey, it worked out for the first goal. They're gonna try to go back to the bread and butter, but right now it just hasn't worked out, as it looks like the defense from State has adjusted a little bit, but it might be a little bit of a woe as an own goal almost goes in, and able to get back is Maple, who then tries to take the counterattack. Sunday Driver, the last one back. This sounds kind of like a NASCAR race with the way I'm saying Sunday Driver, with a interesting name because I think it was switched beforehand. But either way, it's still up in the air. It looks like NC State going for the flip reset double. Maple trying to get it, but the leaves are not falling just yet, even though we are in autumn, as the Maple will not be able to score that one home.
Yeah, and Kozo now on this too, trying to pressure them and keep them from being able to get to the spots that we know that they can get to. Ventus, right now, great passing play, but to a net, they'll still put it above the crossbar and generate an opportunity, but it'll be kept alive here by Sunday Driver. This one all the way up to the ceiling. Ventus is going to try to tap it down for a teammate, but Matt couldn't quite get enough on it here, and Kuzo will now be shadowing, at least trying to chase down Maple, it felt like. Got the demo at the end of the day, as things get a little bit scrappy here. Time starting to move a little bit faster here for UNCA, as this one will go up high. Sunday Driver back out. Rockets the last one back. No boost in the tank, get demoed as well. And suddenly, UNCA back within one.
NC State just again a misread from their second man third, just playing way too advanced forward. And that's just going to be a wide open net to capitalize on with the last man dead off that little counter attack going. So NC State falling apart slowly but surely. We saw them take that big lead within the first 45 seconds of the game, and almost after 5 minutes of play, throwing that away slowly but surely. Even so, they still got that 1 goal lead to hold on to for another 30 seconds, or else this could be the end of game 1, as we see demos coming out. NC State trying to grow that lead a little bit more to secure the game 1 win. Maple takes the pop shot, but not able to get it on. So Kuzo taking it off the wall, not able to get the reach. So it was low boost of 50 on the goal line. And what a save from Sunday Driver to block that one out right into Mac Monster. But once again, it's still in an awkward spot. It got to go the entire distance of the field if you want to win this game. 0 seconds, ball has to stay in the air. Sunday Driver going in the air. Mac on his right. Mac goes for the pinch with Kuzo. Kuzo can't keep it up, and that will be an NC State W for game number 1.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like it was that safe at the tail end of that one. That was certainly pressured, and a great job to keep that ball live and look to get it there. But unfortunately, they tripped over one another in that moment that you really needed to be organized once again. But NC State just hanging on by a thread. They established a lead hard. They looked extremely strong early, but UNC Asheville made those adjustments that you like to see, and I really wanted to see that out of this 3. Kuzo is very dynamic on the offensive side of the ball, and if he can continue that from the second half of that game 1 into game number 2, that's how UNC Asheville has a chance. Otherwise, it might be a little bit of a runaway, but that was a lot closer than it seemed like in the first minute that we saw.
Yeah, and something, I'm a big stats guy, I love looking at the stats, and something I'll point out, 17 shots for NC State.
Oh my goodness.
17 compared to only 5 from Asheville, yet it's only a 1-goal game. That tells you, we saw in the UNCG series that Asheville has a strong defense that can hold on, but we talked about how you can have a strong defense, and they say defense wins championships, but if you aren't able to put more shots in net than the opposing team, then defense doesn't matter at all. It comes down to the offense at that point. So they got to be able to balance out that offense and defense if they want to come back and win this series. Even though they're only down by 1, that 1 can feel like a tremendous hump to overcome unless you're able to stay confident in yourself and your teammates in order to work together to get over that hump themselves.
Yeah, exactly. If you want offense to be your best defense, then you need to be able to create and generate chances constantly that are grade A, and they put on a ton of shots and tried to keep them at bay, but NC State did enough damage at the very beginning of this game. So I think it's obviously it's always important to get a good start, get the first goal, but I really do think that it will matter here in this game as far as who gets that early start to see which way the momentum's going to swing, and it'll go for Rocket and NC State.
Just once again, we saw it last game. The Wolfpack just go so quick off the kickoff, and that's going to be a free goal off the 1-2 from Maple to Rocket, going from the trees and the leaves falling down to the skies with a Rocket blasting through the goal. So that's going to be a 1-0 lead for NC State right off rip, and they're going to be looking for a kickoff goal like last one, as it is currently getting loud in the Esports Labo with something going on the A stream. But right now we are worrying about this matchup between the Wolfpack and the Bulldogs. That is still a close matchup with a goal almost rolling in for the Wolfpack, but a great save on the back line and an own goal going through. As I say that, Asheville just not communicating well enough, in a overcommit, it seems like, comes out just right on the goal line.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate because all the work that you were doing, right, to be able to bail yourself out, which it wasn't a great, sequence for them defensively to start off with, but, they were starting to get things together, piece it together, a bit of panic sets in, and then you see the results of that, which is not where you want to be. Another situation where they started late in a game. This is just like game one, where, man, what if that first minute was strong? And so that's really lingering in its head right now with these players, and see if they can't more settle in than anything else. NC State, another big lead here, and it's going to give away possession, though. The try and boost as well, as Maple will try to go back up for it. After this flip reset, drops it down for Ventus, but it'll go all the way back to midfield, and unfortunately, Rocket, he backflipped here in that situation, so he wasn't able to continue pressure.
NC State, they're going to be looking to continue this pressure forward, and like you're talking about with the reminiscence of game one, where they start out up 2-0 in less than 30 seconds.
Yep.
They got to make sure that they keep that pressure on if they want to win this, or else it will be a same as last game, where they start falling off because they're playing too conservative. They're trying to stay back and wait for something to come to them, but if they're not creating things themselves, then it'll never come. They got to force it themselves, just like that right there. A great play from Ventus off the backboard to Maple in the middle, and that 1-2 play after beating the third man out just so quickly. That's the plays that they need if they want to continue to be this great team that is going to progress and be one of those top seeds going into the playoffs tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree with you there. I mean, that's that pace and energy that you need to be able to beat SJT to a ball defensively, or OG to a ball defensively against USC, for example. And, ooh, almost got the answer, was UNCA. Want to see them come to life, but if NC State is playing the way they're playing, both defensively, but like we saw in that quick play that I was mentioning, that's going to be a tough one to handle for sure. I mean, this team is starting quick. It's what Rocket said he wanted to see after I interviewed him in week 4. We continue to see a little bit of that. That being said, UNC Asheville, they're never really out of a game here in the series right now.
Yeah, Mac Monster with a monster shot in the left slot corner, and Maple not able to reach that one. That's just going to be the goal that they need to get themselves back in. Again, it's exactly like last game. Go up 3-0, and then now it's 3-1. Asheville might take another minute or two, maybe get a second goal to get back in it. But Asheville, they're looking to get that third goal in order to tie it. They go down 3, but it doesn't matter. You still have so much time to be able to recoup yourself and your teammates. But you have to get it going quickly, because right now NC State's still trying to keep that press on, trying to keep it in that blue half to where you can't make that return to sender. You can't throw it back onto their half. And a dunk almost coming through. The Wolfpack almost get another, but it's going to be a diving save off the back wall. And once again, NC State keeping so much pressure, and Maple slotting that one top right, and they go right back up by 3.
Yeah, they're finding these 1-2-3 plays. That went a backwards flip, and then Ventus was on his way back. So it looked like they threw it in reverse for a solid 5-6 seconds there, as every player able to get a touch, and you don't have to go crazy sometimes. Obviously, that one's just a little bit of an awkward looking play, but still that 1-2-3 that you look for. So it's not really about how it looks, but more so how it functions. And for NC State, they're functioning quite well.
Yeah, barely. I was kind of disappointed. I thought you were going to do something. When you said 5-6, I thought you were going to do the 6-7 to 3. I thought you were going to say that. I was so ready for it. But with how this game's going, we might see 6 or 7 goals, whether you want to control the meme or not, with how NC State, they're keeping that aggression on. And they're going to looking to get another, as the pass out from Maple going to Ventus, not able to get that read in Asheville. Once again, they're looking to go for the solo play. Kuzo going for that double, not able to get the angle. And Kuzo has been the main man for Asheville when it comes to generating the offense, getting that ball downfield, whether it be for a pass or a solo play like we've seen from him. But right now, Sunday Driver and Mac, they've been really good on defense. But the offense, again, is still slow. They got to get it going, and we might see it here, but Mac just playing too close to the plate. That second man has to be more disciplined if they want to get these goals. They've just been so out of position to where all these opportunities have just gone awry.
Yeah, you give them that much space, and you have to be able to realize and feel when you go. And so, if NC State's going to get to it first, they're going to find a way to then break through. And Mac Monster to the ceiling here in this time, still trying to generate, but NC State's good for it here. Ventus going to pop it up. It'll be Maple off the back wall, trying to find it as well, but Mac able to get there in time. Sunday Driver now has a lead blocker out in front, got Kuzo, but he wasn't able to get the bump. Now the follow-up shot, another big save. What a defensive sequence by NC State.
I mean, just insane plays from State. They're holding on, and they're holding on well as another offensive stand is about to come out, but a bang downfield is going to send it right back into the half for Asheville to take advantage. But right now it's still awkward as low boost on the Bulldogs half is going to force them to retreat just for now, as finally Sunday Driver, even with low boost, deciding to stay in this play. It might be a counterattack for Wolfpack, but again, just the diving saves from Kuzo keeping that out. Only 35 seconds remaining. They got to get some offense going here if they even want to have a chance at this game, because you do not get a goal here and do not take this game.
Wow.
You are now on sweep watch, if not reverse sweep watch, depending on how you want to look at it. But what I'm more worried about for this team, whether you go down 0-2 or not, is how are you going to be mentally going into that? Because they went down 0-2 against UNC Greensboro and came back, and there we go. We see a goal from them with only 13 seconds remaining. That might be it. But they need to be able to keep themselves in that spacing where this might help them get a little bit of boost going to next game, but they still got to stay mentally strong altogether.
Yeah, you said the word in game number 1, consistency. You literally called it out in game 1. That was great foreshadowing as far as, you know, being able to predict the outcomes of these games. I think it's a little bit too late once again, and for UNC Asheville, that will make it a 2-0 here in this series, so they're going to have to play from behind in the series, but we haven't, you know, we've been playing witness to a reverse sweep already today. Now, whether or not that's going to manifest will be up to NC State at the end of the day. I mean, their defense looked absolutely outstanding. There were some sequences where UNC Asheville, it was like, surely they're going to score on this time around. Weren't able to do it because of how NC State was able to recover.
Yeah, I mean, 7 saves on the half of State, and that's something we usually see from Asheville on the other side. Well, Asheville only had 3 saves, but they had 12 shots compared to NC State, who only had 8. So Asheville, a lot of more pressure like you were talking about, but not able to capitalize on it. I mean, you can have all the pressure in the world, but if that ball does not hit that back of the net, then it does not matter. NC State doing a great job of holding down their line and being able to take those counterattacks to open the space more and just send it right through, where the Bulldogs just not able to recoup themselves in order to gather that information and gather that spacing to send downfield and get those bumps, which we see little to no bumps coming from Asheville, which might be their issue. They might need to get more demos in order to get through this NC State squad, who's just basically sitting in their third on that goal line waiting for the shot to come through and just throwing a little pop out, and it's free save every single time.
Yeah, they do a great job as far as organizing who goes next, and you see it, like Rocket will swing across, but then if you take another shot, you know, Ventus is right behind you as well. They do a really good job of supporting one another in that way defensively and been able to really hold them into a situation where they weren't able to do it. So, you know, we continue to check out exactly how they're able to operate there defensively to transition into the offensive side of the ball too, where they've also been pretty dynamic. The good news for UNC Asheville, they have been able to really manage to get back into things and, you know, at least give them a challenge at the end of the day. They did change it so that that way they went to, you know, switch it up and then try to put it on as many shots because they weren't as outshot as they were before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking to see Asheville get a lot more aggressive. Like I said, they have to stay aggressive if they want to win this series, and right now they have just been so slow, and they especially cannot let the first minute of the game get to them, because so far we haven't seen a goal yet, which is, I would say, an improvement from the last 2 games, but they have to keep it that way, and they need to get one of their own, if anything, to throw the Wolfpack off. They got to make this a little bit more awkward for them, because right now they're just making themselves at home. Like, literally, they're playing at home, but they're making themselves feel at home as well with how much space they're given. Asheville needs to make them uncomfortable to say, hey, I know I'm on your turf, but right now we're bringing it right to you. I know we're the away team, we might be the underdogs, but these Bulldogs can bark, and they're going to hit heavy.
So far, you're absolutely right. So far in this first minute, Asheville's looked a lot better because they have started these games slow. Right now, they've been actually more offensive possession time than we've seen from NC State, which is kind of surprising to say here, given the recent history. But will it matter? That shot's taken. It's going to be denied. Maple's right back to it, but Kuzo going to be able to deny this as well. Kuzo now beat to it by Ventus. He's looking for Rocket. All the way across, does find it, but the shot, well, that's not going to challenge Mac Monster. He plays it from a backwards position here as Maple jumps in from midfield, a little bit unorganized until Kuzo steps up. Gets a demo as well. It should be free shot, and it is. UNC Asheville finally get the first goal.
Asheville finally taking a lead in this series. A great play. Ventus getting the awkward touch and just Kuzo taking advantage, staying that aggressor as the first man. Something that you need if you want to win this game. That first man staying in the play, and exactly what they did. They read that, being able to realize Ventus is awkward here. Even though he's full boost, he's still going to have a bad touch. I'm just going to play for it and have a free shot on target. And right now, NC State almost getting one right back as Rocket sends that one right off the post, and the fourth man saves the day for NC State, as we hear in the background again, the A-team stream getting loud, and right now NC State getting loud right back as another goal goes through as the Rocket sends another one home.
Bayern Rocket, and it all set up by Ventus with that flip reset. Kuzo thought for sure, oh, I got this defended, until you saw the flip come in manifest, and then realized I'm out of boost. Nothing I can do at this point. Just slowly drifting back into the net and adding it to the ball. But look up the kickoff. A rare mistake here from NC State here in this series will allow UNC Asheville to regain that lead directly back.
Kuzo just, I think it was a misflip from Maple, and he ends up bumping his teammate. So either way, neither of them could get to that, and Kuzo, all he has to do is put it on target, and it's a free goal. So a great kickoff goal from Kuzo to put them right back up 2-1. But again, they got to hold that lead. They got to stay aggressive. They cannot let off, because that is where Asheville, they slow down. They start choking out themselves rather than the Wolfpack or any other team really like put that pressure on to make them awkward. They're slowing down and it's making themselves awkward. They have to keep the gas going, because right now it looks like they're able to. We've seen the promising future ahead of the Asheville Bulldogs. They've seen that they can put themselves in these right positions. They just have to trust themselves too, and that's a lot of things I see with teams like this, that they don't have that confidence in themselves, and it shows. But the second that they score even one goal, then that confidence boosts, and it just beams so much that their gameplay, it shows so well.
And I think you do have to, at the end of the day, have somebody that's vocal, a leader on a team, to be able to instill that confidence everywhere. Because I feel like Kuzo has had that confidence throughout this series, but you know, it unfortunately does no good, you know, if you can't get the rest of the team kind of rallied around you. So I'd love to see that a little bit, as far as, you know, getting them amped up, getting them into that position where they can be confident. But right now, they're still trying to hold on right now. And 2-1 lead. This one will go high. It'll waterfall down as well. Not able to get there, and Rocket will. So equalize here with 2:16 left. It seems like every time UNC Asheville tries to take a break, NC State is saying, nah, not this time.
Sunday Driver, just a misread as the third man. Such an important touch to make when you're in that situation. And so far, we've seen that a lot today. I'm telling you, Bearlight, it's the land nerves. You can make that save over and over and over again when you're in the comfort of your own home or esports lab. The second you get on a LAN and you hear all the, you know, the crowd noises and everything, it's a whole different experience. And right now, all those easy saves, easy reads have become a million times harder. They're going to be looking to lock back in, even with just one mistake that leads to another. So far, still a tie game, 2-2. Mac Monster trying to keep the pressure on for Asheville. Kuzo left last back. Ventus tries to get the 50 up. Rocket left last back. This is a pass middle. Ventus having to cut for Rocket, but now it's awkward for the Wolfpack. Kuzo tries to get the double mid, but can't. Again, the overcommits coming out for Asheville might lead to a goal from the Wolfpack. Something that we've seen from the third man on both sides is they just getting way too aggressive. They have to calm it down if either side wants to take advantage.
Yeah, it feels like you take away your options if you get that close up, because now you're just hoping that it's a 50-50 that just kind of dies there, and then you can take over. That's the only situation that would be available for you. So I'd like to see them allow your teammates to have some space, have some confidence in your teammates. It's okay to have confidence in those. Trusting your teammates is obviously a good thing, but you know, being able to jump up in the play just because you think that maybe one situation would happen, not really doing them favors. But they still have this game tied. Series not over until they. NC State wins another one, and right now that one was loose. It was out in front, still stunning them into the box. As Rocket now, they commit too far forward. Almost a freebie there. Rocket's going to put that in every single time. NC State back on top.
Rocket has launched the Wolfpack from an 0-2 start, or I believe it was 0-1. Either way, they went down and they got right back up into the stars. Another one to go through as he gets a hat trick, and that's going to give them the lead with only 53 seconds remaining, as once again NC State looking to close out this series in a sweep with maybe another goal to put the nail in the coffin. But Sunday Driver gets that touch out to Mac, and we'll see Asheville trying to get the counter. But once again, the Bulldogs sparking at the door but the door has not opened just quite yet as the pressure amounting, the bumps are coming out, and NC State is just trying to hold on. You have 30 seconds, and barely all you have to do is just park the bus.
That's right. You just have to be able to hold on here in this situation. You don't want to give anything for free. It's very simple here in this moment. And obviously, it's not do or die for NC State. It is for Asheville. Start anticipating them to have great access to desperation right now. 10 seconds left here. Maple able to tap it in. NC State now going to force Asheville to go the length of the pitch here in order to try and tie this game. Now 1 second. Got to keep it up here. Sunday Drivers able to catch it, but only temporary. Here's Maple now going across, just as it hit the ground. Kuzo going to keep it alive. This one's Rocket up to the ceiling. Keel go. Flip reset, just trying to put it past Mac Monster. It'll work as they trip over one another, and NC State able to close out the sweep.
And what a game and a series that was indeed. I mean, NC State and Asheville, I mean, you saw in games 1 and 2, NC State strong start at the beginning and then kind of let off the gas, and then Asheville took advantage. But either way, it was too late, for them to kind of come back. And then in game 3, Asheville finally get that start that they needed. They get that lead. And then they do the same thing NC State was doing. They take a strong lead, and then they start backing off, starting getting less aggressive than their opponents, which is the Wolfpack. And the Wolfpack start attacking them hard, biting at them, scratching, whatever they can do to win. And just Rocket specifically being able to play that first-man role so well and get a hat trick in order to win that game 3-2 and come back within the last minute to get that goal to win the game is just a impressive win for them.
Yeah, the Rocket Ventus 1-2 was absolutely special here in this one for sure. And they were like sharks. They smelled blood in the water. If you're going to give them an opportunity, they will be able to take advantage of it. And that comfort level that you mentioned throughout those games is absolutely accurate. Being able to say these are our PCs. Like I live and die here in this lab, and it definitely shows. They felt that comfort level, and now they can have a little bit of confidence, knowing that even if they go up against better teams, they'll still have that home field advantage. They'll still be able to manage to hang here and do well. Well, we'd like to give a huge thank you as well for our presenting sponsor at Visit Raleigh. They are fantastic to work with, number one. Number two, a very essential part of what we're doing here at the C3 LAN here for the Fall 2025 Championships. They've been outstanding as well, being able to help us, partner with NC State University as well to host this event in the first place. So if you're planning to have a gig of your own here, again, we always encourage Raleigh. It's a great place. I love some hockey. I mentioned a little bit earlier, you got the Hurricanes here in Raleigh. And so just a fantastic city. So make sure that you have that. And find them on social media, by the way, and at their website at visitraleigh.com. Again, that's visitraleigh.com here.
And a big shout out as well to NC State hosting this event. It's been a pleasure to be able to help out with this event. I'm glad I'm able to come here and see the amazing esports facility they have in their library, which, by the way, their library is huge. The campus is beautiful. It is as itself. And like you said, with the Raleigh itself, I mean, so much to do with. I know that they're actually adding a professional lacrosse team as well here very soon.
Awesome. That's
so
awesome.
It's a lot to do here. And speaking of, we got matches to get back to soon where we'll have, I believe it is Clemson versus Charlotte on the next stream. And speaking of Clemson, Winthrop ended up sweeping Charlotte, which is the previous three winners. And now Clemson looks like they're about to sweep Winthrop themselves. So this is a huge upset in my book to say if Clemson upsets, like sweeps Winthrop and Winthrop sweeps Charlotte. That just tells me this LAN is about to be 10 times more exciting the next couple hours and tomorrow as well.
Any given Sunday, and I guess Saturday as well. It's been crazy here this weekend, and so that means that you should park it right here anyways. Get 2 tabs open as well. Go to the main channel, C3 Esports League on Twitch in addition to that. So we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching C3 Fall 2025 LAN. Right back here at C3 LAN Fall 2025 edition. We've got Rocket back with me. I got to talk to you a little bit earlier. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Again, when I talked to you a few weeks back, you're very hopeful about the LAN, really looking to boost things here and improve things as well to really get some momentum going. How are you feeling as far as the first couple of matches?
Obviously our first series against UNCW didn't go our way, but the first like 2 or 3 games we were trying something different that our coach set us up with, and it didn't work out, so we switched play styles, and like it worked a lot better. Uh, Coming on like the end of the UNCW series, and this series obviously did the same thing. So that worked really well. So I'm very hopeful still of how
No,
we'll do.
no doubt about it. And we were talking about how, at the end of the day, it might be a little bit more comfortable to be here in your homeland versus others. Has that been an advantage? And if so, how much would you say has actually helped you against other teams?
I would say it's not much of an advantage. I've been here like to play on this yesterday was my first time. I've been here to like just look around and explore, but it's just so far away from like my dorm that I don't really come here to play often. It's super nice though. It is, but I don't think there's not that much of a home field advantage other than like we sleep in our own beds in our dorms and we don't have to drive far.
That makes sense to me. So you're saying that you made a little bit of a switch here at LAN. Do you keep that same mentality? What makes you successful in Sunday in your eyes?
In Sunday, I definitely would prefer to have like a good matchup. I don't know what that'd look like, but Charlotte's struggling a little bit, but I won't say much. I don't know, just keeping that play style aggressive is gonna help us through Sunday. I'm looking forward to it, getting well rested. Knockout and one loss is definitely unfortunate
Yeah.
because like you might have like one unlucky series. That happened to us against like Virginia Tech. We had like an unlucky own goal or whatever. Um, but I'm super excited for it. It's gonna be fun.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. What are some of the things that you maybe have learned here without giving away too much about your strategy, about your team, and moving forward, maybe even into next semester by just competing here at LAN?
It's really just talking to each other, like telling each other what we need to do different in between games, during games. Like it doesn't really matter. It's just sometimes there's like a disconnect, and um, we expect it to fix without saying anything. And if we say something, then they know what to do, and then we can get it fixed.
No doubt about it. Well, good luck to you in the rest of the LAN. If I get to talk to you again, it's a good sign. That means you're still with things as well on Sunday. So, again,
Yeah.
congratulations on that big win. We'll see you.
Thank you. See you.
Absolutely. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the B stream here for the Carolina Collegiate Clash Fall LAN here at NC State on the NC State Esports Twitch channel. Maybe for some of you, some familiar faces here on the Esports at NC State stream. I am Yogurt or James, joined by my good friend Colson, coach, coach of the NC State team, as you can tell by his fancy polo shirt.
Oh yeah, come on.
Shout out to Rocket's mom for making some really nice merch for the whole team. We're going to see about onboarding her as one of our graphic people, maybe. But yeah, so we got a heater here on the B stream. This is one of the top 4 placement matches. Is UNC Charlotte versus Clemson. What are we expecting here, Colson?
Man, that is a fantastic question. And the answer that I can give you is I don't know.
Yeah,
I came in today thinking that Charlotte was going to go at least 2-1, and right now they're 0-2.
Yeah,
That's got to fuel some bit of fire, right? I think they came in, kind of felt like we've got this. We were the number 1 seed from the season. All 7 weeks, they played the best.
Yeah.
Now they came in here. Winthrop has beat them, and South Carolina has beat them. Winthrop swept them. South Carolina did in Game 5, got the win. And it was a 7-3. It was a dominant game, number 5. So I imagine there is some fuel in the fire for that team right now, wanting to play hard. Clemson just came off a sweep of Winthrop. So Clemson swept the team that swept.
If we're doing,
Charlotte.
transitive property says that this should be a 6-0 for for Clemson. Not entirely sure how that would work, but
Brazil after Brazil after Brazil.
yeah. But yeah, I believe that this is Charlotte's last match of these placement games.
It is.
And yeah, I mean, if they drop here, they'll go down 0-3 and be 4th place, which I don't think anyone would have expected.
Insane.
Coming in. So they're they want to, even though obviously it's just for seeding in the tournament bracket tomorrow, but still, I mean, I'm sure the Charlotte guys don't want people disrespecting their name like that, thinking that, now they're just just a third, fourth team. Like I would imagine this is lighting a fire for them, that they really want to make sure that they're gonna go on a deep run tomorrow. But yeah, I think we're getting the players into the lobby here. But yeah, definitely Clemson. That game against Winthrop was really impressive. I was here on the B stream watching the NC State victory. Obviously, go Pack. But yeah, this Clemson team has been really good. The solid core of Meso, Beans, and Enzo. And actually, here we go. We're bringing us into the game here. 0-0 game 1, UNC Charlotte versus Clemson. And here we go. Kicking it off is Bala coming up strong off the top rope, looking for a shot. Beans ready to clear it out, but Lazy able to stay up with it. Enzo looking for a little bit of a clear first possession here of the game for the Clemson Tigers, and actually immediate clear, very fast shot out from Lazy, and lots of little bit of back and forth pressure here. Beans looking for maybe a double off the wall, but Bala gets possession, gets the second hit, looks for the third, can't quite get it. Meso drops it over him. Just a bit of a ping pong back and forth so far between these two teams. A little bit of pressure here from Clemson, not too much boost on their side though, so looks like probably going to be a clear out for Charlotte.
A lot of ping pong, like you said. I expect to see a lot of that in this game number 1. Charlotte, their play style, I'm expecting a lot of high flying, a lot of technical mechanics, just like that ball was going for an early shot. But Clemson gets a quick counterattack and starts out 1-0. That goes right into what I wanted to say about this Clemson squad. They are playing for one another. Look how Massau creeps upfield. Enzo trusts he's going to be there, launches that one up, and a quick counter leads to a quick lead 1 minute into game number 1.
I mean, yeah, way to set the tempo there is Clemson. I mean, UNC Charlotte already starting off on the back foot once again. This is, again, to put the stakes into play, this would be them dropping down to that 4th seed if they drop this, which would definitely defy a lot of expectations. So big things needed out of Charlotte. Nice little redirect here from Bala. Looking for the second touch. Not going to be quite able to get it. Beans going out for the save, but Lazy actually with a shot on, and it's going to be good. Charlotte, not 12 seconds later of regulation time, tie it back up at 1-1 here in game 1.
Beautiful placement from Lazy, and that's what you got to be careful as the Clemson squad. Charlotte also knows how to play as a team, and I think that's what has been leading them to have such issues so far in these few games that they have played. I think that individually, these players on Charlotte are better than the players on Clemson, but once they show these mechanics and play as a team, they are formidable and tough to beat. Bala just trying to be a pest and is able to get a touch on the ball and that midfield boost and go again. With a little bit of miscommunication, Lazy's able to get back, but Bala is just trying to outpace the entire lobby, get those mechs warmed up as we go into 2 minutes of game number 1. Strong clear out over, and Knight able to touch it again. Bala trying to do it himself, trying to get a flick off this backboard, but Enzo does great, clearing this back out, keeping the pressure off of the Clemson defense.
Yeah, this is, again, still a bit of a back and forth slugfest. Lots of nice shots, but Knight finds an open net. Maybe a gap in the rotation there for Clemson, and Knight just takes advantage of it. And, I mean, yeah, gets past Beans as that first defender, and just no chance to save that one. UNC Charlotte take their first lead here of the series, not even halfway into game 1. This is really good for them to try to set the tempo. And they're actually going for a kickoff strat here. Pass from Lazy to Knight. Drop it down. Bouncing up. Upper crossbar, and it's in. UNC Charlotte showing why they were the favorites coming into this tournament, and they are not disappointing in this series so far.
Crazy to think that Clemson, who swept Winthrop, who swept UNC Charlotte, could potentially be swept by Clemson. That is insane.
Yeah.
Lazy taking it back to himself on the back wall. Massau sending it early. Knight gets dunked out by Enzo, but no one there for the follow-up. Knight electing to keep this one close. Great play, popping it over Enzo, trying to confuse the defense a little bit, trying to get them stacked on top of one another. But great defense so far. Bala taking it off the ceiling. Breezy over to Lazy. Lazy trying to make something happen, but Massau with a great touch back into the corner, buying even more time for this Clemson defense.
Yeah, and this is just, Clemson kind of has been put on the back foot here, just playing defense, and 2 minutes left to play still, so there's certainly time to make something happen, but it definitely is actually a really nice demo there from Enzo onto the back line. No one was up. Knight barely gets it with no boost. Can Beans get it past? No, he can't. Actually, so just as I'm saying, Clemson has been on the back foot. They actually get some offensive pressure here, but here comes Bala with UNC Charlotte. A really nice redirect to keep possession there, but Beans with a nice clear. Actually, looked like there might have been an open net here, but Enzo cuts off the pass, and a demo means actually Knight is able to stop the bleeding a little bit. And yeah, if this back and forth keeps up for the next 1 minute 30, Charlotte is coming out on top, would be able to take this game one. So really, Clemson, they got to start making some plays. They got to try to make something happen here, or else they will drop this game one with only 1:15 left.
Massa over two, but Bala does well to get a long booming clear into the Clemson half. Bala has been nothing short of a pest. Lazy with a quick shot.
Oh!
Bar down. Beautiful placement. Knight to Lazy. Bala causing panic on that back line, and it leads to a goal for Charlotte. Up now 4-1 in game number one.
Yeah, that is Lazy and UNC Charlotte. Once again, they're showing why they have not lost a map so far prior to today in the C3 Esports League. And yeah, maybe this is just them finding their footing. They had to travel for the LAN. Maybe didn't get the best sleep last night. Had to get used to the setups and everything. So definitely could have been another potential chance. But yeah, with a 4-1 scoreline with only 45 seconds left to go, odds are very in Charlotte's favor to take this unless Clemson really can pull some magic here. But with the way that the game is playing, it doesn't look like 3 rapid goals are possible, honestly, for either team. It's been a bit of a close battle, even though the scoreline is 4-1 in Charlotte's favor. I think that is representative of this game. Charlotte has had pressure on the ball, had possession just that much more than Clemson, being able to find those shots, being able to find those opportunities. And yeah, with the clock ticking down to 13 seconds, I think that this is going to be game one going to UNC Charlotte.
What Charlotte has done in this game, number one, so much better than both teams that Clemson has faced, is they're able to be patient, especially against Winthrop. Winthrop sent it.
Yeah.
They were not afraid to just go for the ball fast, and Clemson was able to take advantage of that.
Yep.
Now, in this game, Charlotte is just being a little bit more patient, a little bit more dialed back, and because of that, it has led to the success of UNC Charlotte. They're letting Clemson do whatever they want, not biting on the passes and holding that space in the midfield, cutting those passes off and harassing them on the back line. Bala in particular has been chasing the entire game and doing a fantastic job at that. It is beautiful play coming out from Charlotte, clinical play, and I think if it keeps like this, Charlotte will take this in 3.
Yeah, Charlotte had more shots in that series than Clemson, although it was pretty close, but Charlotte with more saves. Clemson just not able to stop as many of those shots. So if the shot taking is about equal, Charlotte maybe with a bit of an advantage, it seems like that is going to be their win condition coming in here. It's going to be up to Clemson to see if they can make some shift in the tempo, take more possession over this match. And yeah, I mean, we saw it in that Winthrop game. They 3-0'd Winthrop, who 3-0'd UNC Charlotte. So again, a lot of crazy things can happen at LAN, especially. And I mean, we're seeing it right here. What once would have been the expected outcome of this game one now seems actually like a bit of a shock. But yeah, here we come. Straight into game two, UNC Charlotte up 1-0, and Charlotte is not stopping this pressure straight off the kickoff. Lazy, drop it back to Knight. Gonna go for a nice little touch there, push it in the corner. Bala, actually a really nice touch. Drop it out, but yeah, actually, it's just Charlotte. I mean, it's all Charlotte right now. These saves coming out, forcing out bad touches here for Beans. Not a lot of boost on the side for Clemson. I mean, Charlotte just, the ball has not left the orange side of the pitch here. And yeah, this is just Charlotte just knocking at the door of this Clemson defense. And eventually, you got to imagine one of these is going to get through.
Yeah, it's hard to say that they couldn't, especially with the mechanics we've seen on display so far. I think that's the difference maker between Charlotte and Winthrop in the series, their respective series against Clemson. right now, Charlotte seems on point. They seem fired up. They are ready to go with those mechanics. They're keeping the ball close, controlling the pace of play. Balla being a menace, getting it by 2 with 0 boost. But now they need to be strong on defense. Beans tries to go, but Knight does well, and Balla dusts the next player. Masao trying to pass this over to Beans, but Beans no boost. Knight trying to get this into the corner. Knight to Lazy to Balla. Balla over 1, but great midfield presence coming out from Beans, keeping this ball in the UNC Charlotte half. This is more like what we saw from Clemson in the series against Winthrop. And now we see the presence coming out. Masao trying to make something happen, but no boost, elects not to go. Bad
Ooh.
touch coming out from Beans. Lazy trying to do it himself. It goes off the backboard and into the Clemson corner.
Yeah, that was a little bit dangerous there. I don't think Lazy was quite ready for that touch, so a little bit of a save there for Clemson. But yeah, it definitely, Clemson had a little bit of pressure there, but now UNC Charlotte is back at it. I mean, they just keep hammering away attempts after attempts. Beans with a nice demo to potentially save them here. But I mean, even with 2 players, even with no boost, Ball is still up for it and still putting pressure, forcing out saves. And with this much pressure, eventually there's got to be a mistake, a double commit, a miscommunication from the defense, most likely. But you know, all of a sudden, as I say that, as we almost near the halfway point in this game, it still is a 0-0 scoreline. So even though UNC Charlotte has this pressure and a really nice pass up, actually intercepted there from Clemson. But yeah, like I was saying, it's even though Charlotte has had the pressure, what matters at the end of the day is that goal count at on the top of your screen. And it's still, as I say that, Balla breaks the tie and scores the first goal over halfway through this game too to put UNC Charlotte up 1-0.
Beautiful play coming out from the 49ers. Eventually, like you said, they will crack, right? And eventually they do. I think Clemson deserves praise for their defense, but defense doesn't win games. A kickoff chance for Clemson, but Knight should be able to fit this one into the corner, and does. Clemson playing for each other as a team, but it looks like Charlotte is just trying to skill gap them. Balla trying to do it himself, popping it over, but a great touch on the defensive stand from Clemson, making this stand again. Clemson needs to get out because stands is not what you want. You want the offensive pressure, the pressure that we saw against Winthrop, but right now, Charlotte has all the pressure in game number 2. Masao, this could be it, trying to maybe flick over 1, double commit coming out, but is bumped away. Miscommunication coming out on the side of Charlotte. Popped over mid. This could be the chance, but Lazy does get a great touch. Masao up early, trying to go for this shot. Flip reset down. Enzo does get 50'd out by Balla. Could be a quick counterattack. Lazy to Balla. No boost on the car of Balla, and away we go again. Ping-ponging yet again as we dive further into this game number 2.
Yeah, this is Clemson with a lot more opportunities here. Still a bit boost starved, like that one opportunity where finally a breakaway happened, but no boost on that lead player. But here's another chance for Clemson. Pass from Masao to Beans, back to Masao, and not going to be able to find it. It is a double commit out of UNC Charlotte, but they get the clear. They get what they were looking for. Actually, a trade of demos, dropping it down to a 2v2 here for a second, but the demo actually puts Lazy back in the perfect position for a really nice clear. Masao gets the clear, but it's not what he was looking for. Balla stuffs him with the second goal of the game, and I believe that's his 4th goal of the series. And yeah, UNC Charlotte up 2-0 with less than 50 seconds to play. Looks like they are poised to take this game too as well.
Clemson is known for getting 2 quick goals back-to-back, so this game is far from over. 45 seconds is plenty of time, but when touches like that come out, Knight might try to capitalize on it, but it is cleared away by Masao. Over to Beans, and a beautiful clear away. I think you're going to see a lot of stalling from Charlotte, just keeping the ball in the corner where it is safe, not trying to do too much, not trying to do anything too fancy. They got their goal lead, and that is what is important. Beans able to clear this one out, but no one there to get a quick counterattack. Knight holding this midfield pressure. Lazy grabbing the back, who is making sure that these Clemson players stay on 0 and don't have a chance to get back in this game. Balla has been harassing them constantly the whole time, and because of that, he is able to skill dip them. His mechanics are warmed up. Lazy trying to go early. Balla, 3 seconds left, trying to keep it low. 50s it into the ground. Keeps it up though, trying to get another one for the road, trying to put a little salt on the wound. Balla over to Knight. Knight, double tap, and that would have gone in if it hadn't hit the ground. Charlotte taking game number 2.
I mean, yeah, this is I mean, this is the UNC Charlotte that we expected to see coming into this tournament. It seems like something's clicked for them. They've really got settled in at this LAN, and now, again, taking the 2-0 lead both in the game and in the series over Clemson. And Clemson has been playing well, but again, I mean, it's just a difference in the pressure. Charlotte is just doing so much. 10 shots to Clemson's 5. I mean, any game where you're have double the shots of your opponent, you are bound to get a couple more going in. And yeah, we see it here. This is just Charlotte has kind of taken control. And I mean, yeah, Coulson, what do you want to see out of Clemson to try to make this reverse sweep happen?
You got to keep the ball closer. Right now, every time you pop the ball away, Balla, the player, is able to get on it. He is, I think, the highest rated player on this squad from UNCC, and if you do not keep the ball away from him, he will punish you for it. Balla again trying to take this into the corner. I think this is what I want to see. Massa over to Beans. I love the aggression in the midfield, but you got to cause a little bit more disruption before you go for something like that. You got to pull out one more defender at least to get those cleaner opportunities, unless you trust your players to hit it top right, top left every single time. Balla trying to make this goal real quick, but Massa was able to keep this one close on the back wall, immediately making that adjustment, able to beat one, keeping close to himself again. Lazy off the ceiling, he's able to go under him. The Balla, man of the hour, able to keep it close, and I imagine he'll stay on this play for UNC Charlotte.
Yeah, we have seen a little bit more possession here from USC. A nice pass back to Lazy there from Knight. Potential follow-up there from Balla, not going to be able to make it happen, but yeah, it is UNC Charlotte, just even when they're on the back foot and Clemson has possession, they're just so adept at getting those clears, even when they're low boost. I mean, every time that the ball has gone on their side, again, it's no goals have come for the side of Clemson, I believe, this entire series. So even when Clemson gets that pressure, UNC Charlotte just gets it out. Balla almost gets it in. A really nice save by Meso, but there's only so many really nice saves you can make if you're Clemson, because you gotta get on the board, you gotta score, or else I mean, yeah, that's how you win this game, is you gotta score more goals than your opponent. And so far they've had really nice looks, they've had pretty good pressure, but none of the shots have made it through. And I mean, yeah, UNC Charlotte looks like they're just playing at a higher level right now than we've seen so far today. And I'm very happy that we're seeing this UNC Charlotte, because it really is, they are a very fun team to watch when they are firing on all cylinders, and I think that we're really seeing that from them now. But again, 2 minutes into this game, it is still a 0-0 game. Actually, Beans coming in from the top of your screen, drops one in. First goal of the series there for Clemson. Or excuse me, that's actually the second goal of the series for Clemson, and taking their first lead since that game one.
And you saw the difference that Clemson was able to make. Balla went by the ball and was able to immediately put on pressure on that UNC Charlotte team. I think getting the ball past Balla as the man of the hour is going to be what they need to do. Able to pop it over one, whether it's a solo play or a passing play. I imagine you're going to see Balla maybe take a little bit slower pace. Maybe he'll either do that or he'll start going even faster if that's possible. He's trying to go for everything, but this is the capitalization that Clemson needs. Popping Lazy over to Knight. Knight and gets a 50-50 on the ball. Massa pops it up, looking for a teammate, but Balla goes up as fast as he can. Gets a flip reset over Enzo, down to Massa. Massa with a shot, but Lazy able to pop this one into the corner. What a touch coming out from Enzo, but Balla is there, trying to follow up on it again. Get a 50. It's by two Clemson players and able to 50 it down. Lazy to Knight. Knight with the shot. What a great save coming out by Massa. Balla in the corner, still trying to apply the pressure, but Massa does well to break it and get his team a breath. So far, Clemson has all the pressure in this game number 3, breaking the rotation of Clemson and playing a little bit more patient, letting Charlotte get into their own half before they try to start something else.
Yeah, this is Clemson's really flipped the script in this game 3, and actually just heard some screaming in the background. I don't know if that's coming through the mic, but that's actually our NC State red team taking one map. Now it's tied up all 1-1, I believe, against UNC Greensboro on the A stream. But yeah, it's like you said, actually, here's an opportunity for Charlotte looking in Knight, but not enough speed there. Clemson able to get back on the defense, and actually a bit of a double commit bump on the teammate, but Balla is able to handle it. But I mean, yeah, it's minute 15 left on the clock. Clemson has just had more possession in this game. They've looked much better at making sure that Charlotte don't get as many clears. Actually, Balla with a really nice touch going for a second. Enzo just able to get the stop on him. 1 minute to go. Clemson holding on with the 1-0 lead, but it still is anyone's game. Charlotte missed their chance there. Clemson looked to add on to this lead. Actually, a bit of a pinch coming out for Charlotte, able to potentially make something happen. But again, this back and forth, no one really able to find anything. At this point, it's going to favor the team in the lead because the more saves, the more clears come out. I mean, it's no goals going in. The clock keeps ticking down. Only 30 seconds left on this game. And unless Charlotte can do something about it, Clemson will be coming into... Oh, just as I say that Charlotte might be able, or Clemson might be able to take a game, it's actually Charlotte keeping everyone on their toes here as 15 seconds on the clock start to wind down.
Nassau trying to keep the pressure on, make sure that there's a little bit more time waste, panic setting in for Charlotte. They have to do something, they have to do it now. Lazy popping over one, Nassau able to cut it out though as this ball is all but down. Knight keeps it up in the air, looking for a teammate mid. It is there, but unfortunately they're not able to get to the ball, and Clemson takes game number 3. Beautiful play coming out from Clemson. They're isolating Balla. They're making sure that when he's on the ball, someone will be there. We saw when Balla had a flip reset in the air, Enzo sent it from behind him and dove in just to take it away from him. And that's what they need to do.
Yeah, you can't let that guy just style on you. When he has that space, he's very highly ranked for a reason. Really good change of strategy there from Clemson. And even though actually it was 6 shots on Clemson and 8 shots for Charlotte. So even though Charlotte had a bit more pressure, Clemson with also double the saves there, 6 saves to UNC Charlotte's 3. So even though Charlotte still had a lot of offensive pressure, Clemson were making sure that it wasn't as good of looks. They were better on their defensive rotation, so no just free goals given up on that defensive oversight. Yeah, Clemson looking really good, and I mean, hopefully, I'd always love to see a series go the distance, go to 5. But yeah, I mean, glad to see Clemson fight back, potentially claw their way back here. But here we go into Game 4 in UNC Charlotte versus Clemson.
Clemson popping this one up. Enzo trying to put it on the back. We'll start out with a great statement, but Balla is there to cut it out. Mechanics starting to come out. Maybe a little bit of fatigue, and Nassau capitalizing off of the mistake from Balla. Balla is the man of the hour, but if he starts messing up, that is when Clemson is going to strike.
Yeah, this is a huge goal there for Mesa. I mean, seeing how hard goals have been to come by this series, I mean, the last game just being a 1-0 end scoreline. Any goal that you can take like that off the kickoff, off a mistake, is absolutely huge. And Clemson, if they can keep this pressure up, actually Balla, too lazy, and amazing save there from Enzo, saving his team from having the game tied back up. A really nice clear there from Balla. Another opportunity for UNC Charlotte. Cleared out, but up to Knight. Great 50 there from Beans. And yeah, it's again a back and forth. Both of these teams really well matched, but it really is. UNC Charlotte looks like they've been able to, they've had a little bit more looks in this series, but yeah, Clemson has had more answers. Nice demo there coming out from Lazy, but actually a miss from Mesa, not able to make much happen off of it. But yeah, it kind of is any team that makes the mistake will get punished. This is at this level of play, any opportunity these players are going to strike any sense of blood in the water, they will go.
Charlotte looking to be the one to strike Balla, popping it over one. They're now putting Balla as the second man, which I think is a smart play. I think they need to let Balla facilitate both Knight and Lazy at this point, because Balla has been the aggressive first man, but now Knight and Lazy need to step it up. And there it is. Look at the selflessness coming out from Balla. Knight has the ball on the hood of his car. Balla not afraid to go for that demo. Make sure that Enzo has a tough save. Knight sees it, gets it past 2, and ties this game up with 1 minute and 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah, that was really smart play there from Balla, and a nice shot, good speed on it from Knight. Actually a chance here. Mesa able to stall long enough for his teammate to be ready on the defense. Balla actually with a chance up top, but Enzo able to stop it out. And Yeah, this is very interesting to see. Actually, a potential shot there from Knight. It looks like UNC Charlotte has kind of taken back the tempo of this game in their favor, keeping possession. Another demo on the back line there from Bala. Potential Mesa able to find the save, but yeah, UNC Charlotte just keeping up this onslaught of attacks. Clemson finally get a clear onto the Charlotte side of the court, but I mean, yeah, once again, a really nice clear. Knight just not able to get that touch, and I mean, yeah, it really is this back and forth. Lazy also missing the touch. Maybe a bit of nerves coming out from both teams. And actually, Beans, if that could have found the net, that could have been a bit of a mistake capitalized on from Clemson, but just not able to. Another demo, but this time coming from the side of Clemson. And yeah, with halfway through this game, we are still tied 1-1.
Knight popping this up to himself, hoping that Lazy can go, but it is intercepted by Enzo, put into the corner by Lazy. Knight trying to keep this one close, popping over Massow. Massow gets a bump. Beans able to get there. Charlotte might need to speed this one up. A 50 and a whiffy comes out, but Massow does well to put it into the corner. Knight taking it slow. Lazy popping it up into the air. Maybe has the flip reset. Going for the solo play himself. Tries to get the bump, but no one is there. Great touch by Beans to get it down below the diving Charlotte player, but it is in the Charlotte half now. Enzo trying to do it himself, not looking for the team plays that have been working so well for them. Knight does last back Baller with a quick shot off the post. Knight there, bang! 1 minute and 30 seconds left in game number 4, and Charlotte is up 2-1.
Yeah, this is Clemson, minute 37 on the clock to stop this 3-1 win from Charlotte. And yeah, so the onus is on them. Charlotte, though, I don't think is going to slow down anytime soon. They've really, in this game, taken back the possession lead. And yeah, the only goal so far from Clemson has been off that very first kickoff of the game. Charlotte has kind of stabilized since then. There's been a couple close calls on both sides, but yeah, once again, Charlotte taking control. I mean, these guys, for the majority of this game, I believe the ball has been on this orange side of the field, the Clemson side, and yeah, another pass back from Ball, a really nice potential pass back in. Not going to be able to do anything. Mesau is up, but no boost, looking for the bump, and actually maybe he would have had a chance for the ball there, not quite ready for it. Bala, really nice clear, going for the double himself, gets the touch, not quite there, but Knight is there to follow up. 1 minute of regulation time left on the clock. If Clemson can't find anything here, it will be Charlotte taking this series 3-1.
Pressure is still building for Charlotte, and that's where they want to keep Clemson. Right now, the pressure that Lazy and Bala are putting are allowing each other to get these crazy touches. Knight also getting involved. Team play is now the name of the game for the 49ers. 50-50 comes out between Lazy and one of the Clemson players. I can't help but laugh because it's so funny to see at such a high level. Beans trying to do it himself. Low boost. They need to go back to the selfless play. I like Beans going for the bump, but Bala is there yet again. The raw speed and potential of this guy is just carrying the 49ers, trying to do it himself on the sidewall. Enzo tries to keep it close, and Knight dunks into the net, the third goal for UNC Charlotte.
And that's a hat trick for Knight, taking matters into his own hands. It's going to be a 3-1 scoreline potentially for this game 4 and a 3-1 scoreline on the series. UNC Charlotte, again, they wanted to make a statement here. They're not going down 0-3 in this placement round robin group stage. They want to make sure that there's some respect on their name going into tomorrow. And yeah, they're going to do it. Get their win over over Clemson, which is actually really big again, like we've been saying. The 49ers did get taken out 3-0 by Winthrop, and Clemson did 3-0 Winthrop as well. So, with the trying to logic it out at this point, it kind of seems like it's all cooked. It's all up in the air there. But, I mean, yeah, I think what I'm seeing so far from this tournament is that I think we're going to have a very fun championship Sunday in that bracket.
What I can tell you for sure is that the top 4 teams are incredibly close skill-wise. I think the Gamecocks have done the best today. Clemson falls to 1-2. Charlotte rises to 1-2. I think Winthrop has another game a little bit later.
Yeah.
It will be
versus
between
USC,
South Carolina, and Winthrop, and that will determine if we have think it's South Carolina would be the top of the group if they win, and Winthrop would then be second if they
Yeah.
win. So I think South
That's going to be a big
Carolina,
game.
it's going to be a big game, but I think
Mhm.
South Carolina has proven they are the ones on top. But again,
Yeah.
incredibly close
I
so far.
know. I know Somber was saying that USC was his #1 going into this weekend, and I can see he knows ball clearly. But yeah, USC has been really strong so far today, and I would predict that they take that one. But anything's possible here. But again, big shout out to the UNC Charlotte team for taking their first win of the day. And actually, I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be able to get an interview. But for now, I do want to give a huge shout out to Visit Raleigh for making this whole event possible. Yeah, so they've been essential in setting this whole organization, the whole stream up. Yeah, really, really impressive stuff. Again, Raleigh has a lot of really cool stuff going on here at NC State. We got the Esports Gaming Lab, Carolina Hurricanes. We got a lot going on in Raleigh. Again, also shout out to NC State. That's where we're from. Obviously, we're going to be a little biased there, but we're being told to shout out NC State, so that's even better in my book. Yeah.
If you want to visit anywhere in Raleigh, try to get to visitraleigh.com, book a stay, book a trip, try out the cool places around here. I think right now, I mean, I can see it in the background. We're watching the NC State and UCG game, and it is
2-1
currently
pack.
2-1 in favor of the Wolfpack. Thank you very, very
Mhm.
much. The pack look completely different right now. So if you want to go see that one, check out the C3 Esports League stream. Shout out to C3. Shout out to Nate for getting all of this set up for everyone today. Nate's sitting next to me on quad. He's just giggling to himself right now. That's his hand. You all know it and love it.
Yeah, next up on this stream, we've got UNC Asheville versus UNC Wilmington. Should be a good match. I know both teams have had some ups and downs today. I know UNCW took out NC State earlier, so maybe the favorite coming into this one, but we'll see.
They should be. I hope they are.
I'm sure Nate would love that. But yeah, I think that's it for us for now. Yeah, so we'll be back with, again, UNC Asheville versus UNCW. But yeah, we'll see you in a bit.
I'm tired of waiting, lost while I'm sitting at home. Dream of a new destination, lust for something unknown. Oh, you better leave it alone, and you know I'd rather get up and go. How long can I lie around waiting for it? Sometimes you gotta walk out the door. No limits, no ceiling, no crown. No pressure gonna hold me down. No stopping till I break every rule. No limits to what I can do. Nowhere is too far away. No border gonna stand in my way. No wall that I can't break through. No limits to what I can do.
Welcome back to the final matchup of the day, where we will have the UNC Asheville Bulldogs going against the Wilmington Seahawks. This will be a battle for the ages to see what the seeding will outcome be for tomorrow. And I'm joined here once again with Colson on the B stream to see what will happen for tomorrow.
So We did some caster math, so it could be wrong. Hear us out. But with this series, if UNC Wilmington wins, that means Wilmington will be the 7th seed, NC State will be the 6th seed, and UNC Greensboro will be the 5th seed. So my caster to my left will be cheering wholeheartedly for UNCW, and I will be wholeheartedly cheering for UNC Asheville. Obviously, I'm kidding. We're going to be as unbiased as we can, but if you hear an extra little pop-off, it'll happen here and there. And then once again, I want to say thank you to our sponsors really quick before we dive into the match. Visit Raleigh. If you want to visit anywhere in Raleigh, go to visitraleigh.com. Book an appointment, book a trip, book anything. There is amazing stuff down here. Thank you again so much for sponsoring. And then thank you to NC State as well for sponsoring. We're in the esports lab right now. The atmosphere, the ambiance, as the French say, is out of this world. I wish I could flip this camera around and show you, but I cannot because I believe we are about to get into this game.
Yeah, and I can confirm that because two of the players I coach at East Tennessee State are from France. So so I can confirm that. And also another word we like to say is passion. The passion or passion is because a lot of these players, you can hear the uproar from them whenever a goal happens or whenever they're able to get that pressure going. As we see, is this, am I going crazy, or are all the Asheville players in the new, like, Chevy cars, except for Mac? You can tell they're trying to have a good time at this lane, and they're showing a lot of passion with that, because they're trying to have fun while still trying to win, as we see Guzzo and Sunday Driver going for the pinch, and heck, I mean, hey, if the Chevy cars are going to work, then American made right at it, baby.
I'm glad that Asheville is having a lot of fun here. They, I think, have had a rough day so far, going 0-2 on the day, trying to make it 1-2, and I think that they could do it. I'm glad that their heads are in the right spot. They're having fun with it, enjoying the land because it is awesome. And so far, the aggression that they are showing is working out for them. Scoreless, 1 minute in. Sluggish pops it back down to himself. Kuzo gets the 50. Sunday Driver popping the ball to himself, gets another 50. A demo comes out on the back line. This is a 1v1. Sluggish is able to get the save, and here comes the Seahawks.
I'm just looking at their cars still, and it's you just have the Mexico flag with, like, I don't even know what decal that is, and some Zombo wheels going on this dang car. And I mean, hey, power to them because they're still able to keep this game even a minute and a half through with it, and maybe even get a goal to take the lead. As Sluggish is awkward on the backboard as Wilmington trying to take it quick through, and they're able to get a counterattack. No one on the back end for the Bulldogs, as it might be a goal-scoring opportunity. Sluggish tries to get a shot, but unfortunately for Sluggish, just barely tapping that with his wheels. A little weak there on his side, but it's still going to stay in the half of the orange as we see a treat coming out from the pizza topper. And I'm still going to talk about their card. It's so funny to see it, but again, like you said, I'm glad that they're having a good time with this and still trying to enjoy the game while still trying to win as well.
Steve taking this to the backboard, saved away by Sunday Driver. Weak shot on, and Sunday Driver gets a worldy of a save. Kuzo with a follow-up save. UNCW has the pressure, but Kuzo gets a great demo. Shot on target. Sunday Driver with another beautiful save. Defense standing strong for this orange team. Mac able to pop this one out. Kuzo on the ball. Sluggish able to cut it out and get by two defenders. Sunday Driver looking to pop this one over and does. Steve getting demoed for his efforts, trying to keep the ball close. Mac able to pop this one out. Reticle a little too far forward, but no one is there. Maybe an own goal. Steve trying to put the mechanics on display and put a banger into his own net, but it remains scoreless as Steve is up in the air, tries to get one over, and it pops back into the midfield.
Yeah, I think Wilmington might have heard about the whole entire situation with the seeding and maybe taking bets or something, but let's do a quick run through of the scenario. So Wilmington, if they end up winning this series, no matter if it's 3-0, 3-1, 3-2, they secure the 7th seed. NC State will go to 6, and UNCG will be the 5 seed. If Wilmington ends up losing this, though, they will drop to the 8th seed, and NC State will take the 5th, UNCG will take the 6th, and Asheville will bump up to the 7th because they will have that head-to-head. It will then go to head-to-head between the two.
I didn't even think about that.
So Asheville is looking to move up a spot and not have to play the 1 seed, and South Carolina, who comes in as the 3 seed, and I expected them to be the 1 seed going into this because I've seen how dominant they have been recently with a CRL around the corner, or them getting done with CRL, I should say. But even so, I mean, these teams are battling for positions for tomorrow, all to make it to tomorrow. And tomorrow being the most important day, so obviously you see like the trolling with the cars a little bit, but seeding still matters. So this will determine who they play against. So you still want to win this series if you want to put yourself in a better chance in order to have a easier opponent.
Easy opponent is an interesting way to put it. You're
That
going
is true.
against Clemson, South Carolina, Charlotte, or Winthrop as Reticle goes for the double touch. Steve with a shot, top right, beautiful placement coming out from the Seahawks. Reticle goes for the double touch. Low Boo's not able to get to it, but that fake out causes Sunday Driver to go early, and Steve puts that perfectly into the top right of the net. Seahawks take a 1-0 lead.
I think Steve's secret name is Robin Hood, the way he sniped that bullseye top right, just shooting the arrow into the corner perfect. That's going to give him the lead that they need was last minute of the game, as we see Mac trying to clear it out, a commit from Sunday Driver as the third. Reticle taking his time off the sidewall, tries to go for the drop, ends up faking out Kuzo. A demo coming out on the back line to kill the second man. Kuzo tries to turn, and Asheville, once again, they're trying to put the pressure on, but it's going right back into their half. What a save by Sunday Driver. And again, still pressure mounting for Wilmington. They've been so aggressive on this front half. Even with all the balls that have been sent to the blue half, they're able to clear it right back on. So with only 20 seconds remaining, we see Asheville having to regather themselves and try to get a goal, as I say gather rather than gather. But you see the pressure that's mounting, and Sunday Driver tries to get the flick to tie the game. And Sunday Driver in the Chevy America made fly the USA flag. There we go. Sunday Driver with a flick and a half over Reticle.
I know Reticle's looking at his screen like Sunday Driver's profile picture. The Fortnite guy just staring at it like, are you serious right now? 6 seconds left. They tie it up. Mac getting a 50 off Steve, trying to do it himself, and this one in regulation, but a great 50 comes out. Kuzo fakes it out. Sunday Driver not ready for it. And here we go. Overtime in game number 1. Last series of the day. I couldn't wish for anything better myself. Sluggish with a mistouch. Kuzo trying to pop this one mid, but Sluggish does well to recover from it. Contrary to his name, he's able to get to that second ball very quickly, and Steve continues the pressure down the field. Kuzo taking it himself, popping it over Sluggish, trying to get to Sunday Driver, but a miscue. Sluggish trying to put this in over to Steve, but Steve not enough boost to make something happen. Sluggish gets back to this one though. Reticle trying to pop this one down, and Mac able to pop this one back into the UNC half. Going for a bump, but unfortunately not able to hit the target, but Sunday Driver able to hit the target, and UNC Asheville take game number 1.
Sunday Driver with the goals that were needed to come back, and when he got the flick with only 6 seconds remaining in order to tie this one up and send it overtime, and he gets the game winner with the pizza wheels, the pizza topper, and you can tell after having some Domino's earlier today that the pizza is running through his veins, as that allows him to get the 2 goals in order to take this one. And you look at the stats: 6 saved, 2 goals, 926 points. Mac Monster and Kuzo sit back in the backpack as it is air conditioned, and it is a free ride to a win. Wilmington trying to play close, but just not close enough for the Fortnite pick.
And all the space in that Chevy van.
Yep.
You know, I bet they're pretty comfortable in that backpack. 900, over 900.
Yep.
Over 900. Let me say it again. Sunday Driver absolutely dominating in game number 1, and that's what Asheville is going to need to have if they're going to stay in this series. But Reticle has something to say about it, trying to do an air dribble, but Kuzo makes a great save on the goal line. Sunday Driver cutting that one off. Mac a little bit off the goal line, and Sluggish able to put one into the back of the net, giving the Seahawks an early lead.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe this is what Asheville need. The Bulldogs needed the good vibes and like the little bit of the trolls going, these cars that don't see too much in professional play or even Rocket League play in general. But unfortunately, a missed touch there from Sunday Driver as he's trying to clear it out, goes into the hands of Wilmington, and they're able to capitalize as they're going to be looking to keep it onto this orange half as we see a third man commit. Then Mac and Sluggish trying to go quick off the back wall, gets it over one. It's going to be an open net, and a Sunday Driver once again has something to say about it. He has been the man, the myth, the legend for this series for the Bulldogs, but even so, it's still a long way to go. We're only on game number 2 here in Forbidden Temple. It's a beautiful map, but Asheville's trying to make it look a little bit better with a win on their column, but right now Wilmington trying to keep the press right back on as that ball is sticking in their half. They got to get it clear. There goes the second man flying through. Sunday Driver left as the last man. He's trying to dive forward, and the pinch comes under as Reticle getting loud, yelling at the top of his lungs. You can hear him throughout the arena, and UNC Wilmington taking the 2-goal lead.
Reticle with a beautiful play under one into the back of the net. I think the Seahawks have woken up. They are here to play, and they are here to win. Down 1-0 in this series. Let's see if they can continue their hot streak. Mac, love the midfield pressure from him. I love how he's staying just a little bit behind as he tries to pop this one out. But Reticle trying to do it himself again. Steve and Reticle both don't end up going for the ball, and that allows Sunday Driver to quickly get to it. Sluggish able to get by the last man as you hear another pop off from the Seahawks. Everyone giggling and having a good time as they're all getting excited in this game number 2.
Wilmington making sure their voices are heard after losing that game 1, and the Bulldogs getting rowdy after that game 1 win, and they're trying to get it right back with a game 2 win to tie this series up. Sluggish going up high, and we've seen the team play be a lot more eccentric and be more put together from this Seahawk team as they have been more well-rounded, looking to get that press on and playing in positions like this. Reticle just sticking his front foot forward as he's already sitting upfield, trusting this bang from Sluggish to come in, and he's just ready to tap that one home.
I think there is a skill diff a little bit in this lobby. I think the UNCW squad just needed to get themselves composed. I think they thought this series might be a little easy, and because of that, they got punched in the mouth as Sunday Driver sent this one over to the corner. A minute and a half in, they're already up by 3, and they are looking ecstatic. Steve able to steal the boost, gets bumped for his efforts. Mac trying to put some midfield pressure on, and Kuzo with a miss on the back line, but unfortunately it won't bite him just yet. Fake coming out from Sluggish, that could have been a goal. Pops it up off the ceiling, trying to get back to it himself, but no one from the squad bites on it. Kuzo trying to keep the pressure on. Reticle popping this one back over. Sluggish up early. Shot from Reticle, but it goes wide. Steve with the follow-up, popping it. A slow roller over, but Sunday Driver able to get back to it. A bump onto Reticle. I think he was assisted from an Asheville player, and that gives them a 5-0 lead 2 minutes in.
Hey, Asheville, we're playing Rocket League, not pool. You shouldn't be using Reticle as a pull ball to knock the ball into your own net. But instead, that is what they do, whether they meant to or not, as that Chevy van is not tough enough to be able to demo him through, and that's going to be another goal heading to the way, and only half the game through, and it's already a 5-0 lead for the Seahawks. Maybe a 6-0 Sluggish can score this with 0 boost, has to backflip into it, but Sunday Driver getting the save. It's still getting loud in here. Maybe again if the Seahawks can score, but Steve getting that one off the backboard and trying to play it out into his own half, but instead it's going to be another goal, and the Bulldogs are barking right back at the Seahawks.
You think it's possible? I think I saw 5 goals come out from the Seahawks. I think I could see 4 more coming out from the Bulldogs. They are alive and well as Sunday Driver appears yet again on the screen, diving into this next kickoff. A little miscommunication coming out from the Bulldogs as Reticle tries to take it up to the ceiling for himself. Oh my goodness, Sunday Driver just pre-jumping of doom for that. Kuzo mixes on the back line. Steve whiffs on the ball. Sluggish shoots, and it goes into the top left corner and away. Reticle with his 3 goals. Sluggish with 2. Steve still needs to get his 1. And I think this is the passing play to do it. Reticle down to Steve. Steve hit a little sidewall redirect for us one time. He gets beat out by Mac. Sunday Driver trying to get back into this game. And 50's Reticle, but Reticle does well to put this back into the Seahawks corner.
I'd say Wilmington, that goal that they allowed a little bit ago, maybe just trying to set up a Brazil watch here as they're up 5-1 with still 2 minutes remaining, as we see Steve trying to use another pull cue in order to get the shot through it. There it goes, Reticle getting the 6-1, only one more to send a one-way trip, a flight all the way to Rio de Janeiro for Asheville, and for them right now, they might be looking as good as Cancun to send them on vacation, because this is not looking like it's going in their favor unless they can pull this one back in a minute and 40 down by 5.
Like you said, we're waddling. We're on our way down south. right now, I think it could be possible. Steve popping it over. Kuzo missed, and there we are. Steve does not get the goal, but they do get a trip to Brazil for it. I don't think Steve has any goals so far, and doesn't. Reticle with 4, Sluggish with 3. It is what it is. I'd be a little mad if I was him. Sluggish stealing that one literally at the last second from him.
I was about to say, pack your bags, boys. We're going on a vacation. Unfortunately for Asheville, it's not the vacation that they want. Either way, they're still having fun. You can hear the screaming in the background. They're enjoying themselves, win or loss. As I feel like they already know. I can hear them yelling solo play at the top of their lungs as all 3 go for it. And that's going to be another goal. Excuse me for all the laughter, but if y'all were here in the arena, if you're anywhere near Raleigh, you have to come witness this for yourself. It is a marvel to hear them scream at the top of their lungs, win or loss for either side.
Steve letting out a scream of joy, finally able to get his first goal on the board. It seemed like his teammates were trying to keep it from him, and honestly, they might have. I'm glad the Asheville players are having fun, though. You could hear Kuzo say solo play, and then steal the ball directly off his teammate's car. They're enjoying themselves in the Chevy cars. Kuzo with a great save. You can hear him screaming if you could. Another booming scream from Kuzo. Sluggish taking this one over to the back wall, over to Reticle. Reticle with a shot. What a shot! Oh my goodness, Mac! Beautiful pass from Reticle, and Mac hits the shot of the series so far. Are you kidding me? Look at that touch. Bottom right corner over Sunday Driver.
Can we call shot of the day out of any series? I mean, it's kind of unfortunate because it's on their own net, but what a banger that was of a redirect from Mac Monster. Unfortunately, it's not on the blue net. It's on his own, like I said, but either way, you can still hear them screaming, and I think Wilmington's kind of giving compliments to the chef at this point for that chef's kiss of a goal, and Sluggish is trying to get another one through, possibly. Steve with his pickaxe in hand going for the goal, for the pass, but no one able to follow through, as once again Kuzo trying to get it down. A duck coming out. They're still screaming at the top of their lungs as we hear there might be some Bulldogs in the building, but it's definitely not the Bulldogs barking. It's the Seahawks, which I do not know how that works. I feel like it'd be more of a squawk, but either way, it looks like it will be a guaranteed win here in Game 2 for the Seahawks unless we can get 8 goals in 0 seconds.
Oh.
It's possible. Unless it's, just going to hit the ground.
Come on, boys.
I mean, the ball's still staying up. It's possible, Golsey. Come on.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Oh.
Double! Ah! Almost bringing that game back. That would have been a 9-2 scoreline instead of a 9-1. And then maybe with 0 seconds, 7 goals, maybe the admin could hit the new pause button,
I can
change
see
the
it.
score. But unfortunately not. I think UNCW did a great job of just skill diffing that game.
Yep.
They kept Sunday Driver contained after his crazy game in game number 1, and that, I think, is what led to their success. Wow. Reticle, 5 goals. One of them goes to McMonster. Sluggish with 3, but one of them should have been Steve's.
Yep.
Goal frenzy, goal bonanza, and only 2 saves coming out from Wilmington. They had all the pressure for the entirety of that game. But as you can hear the Bulldogs, they're yelling at one another, saying, oh, come on, come on. They're just joking around. Whoa, as we hear a pop-off, but that is actually from another game that we have, as we're waiting for Steve to ready up and dive into game number 3.
I'm about to say, if they're popping off just in the menu, just like for everyone readying up, then that'd be a different beast to handle, I would say. But yeah, that is going on over on the A stream right now, as this is the last match today for both sides, so this determines a lot of seeding when it comes to these matches. And we've already went through the scenarios for the B side, and I know for the A side might be a little bit different. Not too sure, but either way, let's focus right back on this game as we still see the Chevy fans staying in. They're keeping faith in them. As Kuzo already trying to get it off, started quickly. Mac trying to get the shot down low, but a great block out to the corner. And Sunday Driver will regather. Sunday Driver, I'm going to keep saying his name like it's a NASCAR driver, just because every time I say it, it makes me think I'm either at the Kentucky Derby with horses or I'm casting a NASCAR race. Either way, all I feel is vroom vroom, and we're going quick at it.
Kuzo popping this one past mid as we hear a pop-off from the game on our A stream. Sluggish going under McMonster. What a fake, a monster fake from Sluggish, and he takes a lead 30 seconds into game number 3.
I mean, just what a play. A great fake down low from Sluggish, and even with 0 boost, it's a wide open net. The third man nowhere to be found for Asheville, and again, they're not in the right spots whatsoever. It just feels like you can tell that this series is just a fun one. Like, obviously going down 9-1 and still screaming at the top of your lungs. They're enjoying as much as they can. So I don't, obviously they're still trying to win here and there, but if they want to, golly, with it getting loud in here. If they want to win though, they got to stay aggressive and they can't let up, because right now that's what they did last game. They literally just sat on their own half and were on going pretty much, then allowing Wilmington to get those. So Wilmington is going to look to keep taking advantage, but Asheville, you know, once they get a goal or two, they can easily turn this around.
Asheville could do it right here. Kuzo trying to do it himself, but Reticle makes a great save. I like the aggression coming out of McMonster. I think he was a little quiet. Oh my goodness, as a demo from Kuzo onto Steve. Let Sunday Driver tie up this game. Like I was saying, McMonster is showing the aggression and is willing to dive into the other half. You have nothing to lose. You just lost 9-1. Just send it. And just sending it is leading to the success. Tie game between UNCW and UNCA.
Hey, if you want anyone to score, you want it to be Sunday Driver for the Bulldogs, as he has had all their goals this series. But a wide open net on the other end, and Steve is going to find the diamond in the rough, as I use another Minecraft pun there with the Steve. But either way, he just has a wide open net, and all he has to, he doesn't even have to touch it. He just gets the first one and lets it go as he flies with it.
Yeah, that's the downside of sending it as the last man. Shout out McMonster, but he pushed a little bit too far up, wasn't able to recover from it, but UNCA is not going to go away. Kuzo almost, you can hear him screaming in the background, thinking he's about to pop off. Steve able to 50 this one down. Sluggish gets a 50 on McMaster, and Kuzo is able to scoop this one back to himself. Reticle gets a touch over to himself, trying to get a flip reset over 1, trying to go over 2, gets a 50 down, but no one is there to follow up. Sunday Driver on the ball, the man of the hour for the Bulldogs, gets a strong flick. Reticle pops this one over to Steve. Come on, Sunday, get to it. Steve with a weird touchdown. Sunday Driver trying to pop this one mid, get a flip reset over 1, over 2, but Sluggish with a great save. McMonster almost putting that one in the back of the net, but Steve does a great job getting back the Seahawks.
Every single time I see the camera switch to Sluggish, because he has that like orange decal, makes me think of Sunday Driver's decal, and I keep thinking he's like saving his own teammates' shots for some reason. I'm like, I know they're having fun, but you still want to win. You can't be having that much fun. Either way, Sluggish, that just tells you that Sluggish is doing a good job at being on the ball when he needs to. But Reticle, a whiff there that almost leaves an open net, and that goes right back into the hands, luckily, of Reticle with a pass coming out from his teammate. So he's going to now try to throw it into the corner, try to get it past Sunday Driver, but Sunday Driver has been a strong player for the Bulldogs, being able to create space, and we usually say it's Kuzo. Kuzo has the mechanics to be able to enable his teammates and advance it downfield, but so far Sunday Driver has been in the lead on taking the front runner of this series. And now it still looks like it's all the pressure coming in from Wilmington. A shot almost goes through, but Sluggish having to dive at it to try to keep it in. And all three are up. This might be a wide open net off the bump, but Sluggish a good cut, as third man is going to deny an opportunity.
That could have been Asheville's opportunity to take this game, number 3, but Reticle passes over to Steve. Steve trying to get it off the backboard, gets a bump, and Sluggish able to slot this one into the back of the net. Selfless play coming out from the Seahawks, giving them a 2-goal lead. Kuzo just flipping right there. Unfortunate. Sunday Driver gets bumped off the ball, and that is an easy shot for a player like Sluggish.
Yeah, I mean, you just cannot beat leaving the net that open, especially off the bump. I mean, you can't really control it once you get bumped. But once you get bumped and the net's wide open, it's just a free tap in for Wilmington, which they have been doing so well today. And not just in this series, against the other teams as well, against like NC State, UNCG, even though they got swept by UNC Greensboro and they won 3-1 against NC State. We're still looking to keep a strong hand forward, as right now Kuzo trying to take it back onto that blue half, gets blocked out by Steve on the low end. Mac goes a little bit too quick into the play. Sluggish is third, plays the pop shot, and the pop shot goes right in off the pass from Steve. Another one, and we have within the past 2 games a 13-2 score line, and just, I mean, what else can you say about this? Because it's just a scoring bonanza for the Wilmington.
I think this is a confidence game for them. You know, no team gets eliminated going into tomorrow. So I'm glad that Astral's having a good time, just trying to keep the vibes up. But if you're scoring 9 goals in a game and scoring 4 in another, maybe going for a 5th as Reticle fakes this one out for Sluggish, I think that's a good vibe as well, right? Obviously, you win the series, you're feeling good going into tomorrow. That's when it matters. Single elimination, any game, could be anyone's. We could see some crazy upsets because of this tournament format. Sunday Driver trying to do it himself, but no boost to follow up to that one. Steve gets it past to Kuzo, his last back, pops this one out, but no one is down field for it. Sluggish whiffs on that one, leaving it for Reticle. And Sunday Driver and Big Monster both go for this one. Big Monster able to 50 it down after his initial touch, and Sunday Driver beats Sluggish out to the ball. Midfield presence from Steve as he gets a weird touch. Great shot from Kuzo, but weak. Oh, maybe a pinch, but Reticle able to save this one out. 20 seconds left. Kuzo to McMonster, but beat out by Sluggish. Sunday Driver papping this one back mid for Kuzo. Steve putting this off the backboard. Waterfall down, but Kuzo is there. Flick over one defender back, and it is Sluggish. Gets a free shot onto the ball, and this game, barring a kickoff goal, will end 5-1 in favor of the Seahawks.
Yeah, possibly another Brazil if they can get 2 kickoff goals and 2 goals in 2 seconds. But either way, that is the nail in the coffin for sure. That will secure a 2-1 series lead going into game number 4 as we see Wilmington just being very dominant on the offensive end and still staying stout on defense as we see a goal there as a not anymore 5-1, it is a 5-2 win for as we see 6 goals go to 7 as that player tag says 6-7. All right, I will officially end my career there. All right, y'all have a good rest of y'all's night. But either way, Wilmington still playing really well and able to, again, still in positive vibes. And I know that these games, they're trying to have as much fun as possible. But for Asheville, you still got to think in the back of your mind, if you lose this, you are guaranteed 8th seed. You're having to go against South Carolina, a team who's been top 30 in the country, barring if they win against Winthrop. They're up 2-0 right now. As long as they win that, they should be guaranteed 1 seed. And you have to go against them first round of the day, 10 a.m. in the morning. That's a hard matchup, and I don't know if you want that.
Yeah, they'd have to come out swinging strong,
Yes.
stronger than they have today. And I don't know if you guys can hear this through the mic, but this game is all fun and games. Everyone's having a good time, even if you're down 9-1 or 5-1. You're having a good time. You're going, yeah, whatever, right? But the tension in the air from the South Carolina and Winthrop game is palpable. They are talking smack. South Carolina is, what are you doing? You know, you remember when Calm said, what are you doing, wave to relating wave? It is that vibe in this stadium, and I'm glad that we can hear it. But now focusing back on this series, Monster gets beat out by Steve at the midfield. Sunday Driver gets demoed by Steve. But a great 50 coming out. Kuzo able to 50 out Reticle. This one stays in the UNCW having Monster. Great turnaround, able to beat out one player. Reticle popping this one up off the backboard. Kuzo can't get to it. Pop off from the Winthrop squad. Hog shooting this one down. What a beautiful shot. Beautiful play coming out. Kuzo with a chance, but unfortunately this one stays 0-0. 30 seconds in to game number 4.
Listen, this is what I love about LANs. LANs, you just, the energy that any team can bring at any given time is just so beautiful. And I've been to so many LANs, especially within the past month. Like I said before, I've said to a lot of people today that I've been to DreamHack in Atlanta, Georgia, where it's like thousands and thousands of people. I've been to Kentucky at Bluegrass Boost Battle, where we have some of the top teams in the country competing, and you can hear a lot of them get loud. A lot of them have designated hype men, where they will literally stand behind the players, and the second they score, they will scream at the top of their lungs to get into their opponent's heads, because it's not just a game about mechanics and being a team player and all that kind of stuff. This is also a mental game, where you can get in your opponent's head on LAN, where this is why it's very different. Like, you can see any team win, beat any team as well, because if you're like getting in their head, screaming at the top of your lungs, making sure that it like flusters them at all, that can be the difference between a win and a loss of a series. They're looking to use every advantage of it, as both Wilmington, Asheville here, and the teams on the AT Extreme are as well. Right now, we haven't really heard them get loud whatsoever, as we haven't seen any goals so far within these first 2 minutes of the game, as Asheville and Wilmington kind of just been back and forth in this game.
The only thing I heard was a little bit of frustration on the side of UNCW. I think there was 3 or 4 saves in a row, and a UNCW player said, come on, just like a little frustrated. But this is A great save. I thought that one was going to go into the back of the net, but Sunday Driver bailing out his team yet again off the corner. Sunday Driver low boost, trying to get it over one. Kuzo interference on the back line, but Steve able to still get the save. Steve with a quick shot. Kuzo popping this over into the corner, beating out his own teammate McMonster. A little bit of communication issues coming out. Reticle popping this one over to Steve. McMonster up early. Sunday Driver able to get this one to himself. Sluggish, great first touch. Probably gets a flip reset on this, and does, but it does not go into the back of the net. Steve gets beat out by Sunday Driver in the orange corner. Sluggish popping this one, just keeping it back in. McMonster up early, popping this one over Steve. Reticle in the corner, trying to shoot this to himself. McMonster able to get this one out, popping over another defender, but Sluggish does well to keep the presence in the midfield. This one goes harmlessly into the orange corner. 0-0, 2 minutes remaining in game.
Just demos coming out on the midfield as we see Kuzo going for Steve there, getting off the backboard, but it might be a pass right to Sluggish, as once again just a miscue from the orange half in Asheville as they dime up Sluggish. Sluggish was just waiting as first mate, trying to stay aggressive, and he did it perfectly. Just a mistimed read and a free goal in his name. You can probably still hear them getting loud over in the Winthrop for South Carolina series as South Carolina, a little score up. They are up 2-0, but Winthrop is up 3-2 in this game number 3 to try to reverse sweep.
Sluggish pops this one into the corner. Sunday Driver keeping it there as well. The least threatening spot on the field for the goal. You can hear the Winthrop players are starting to give back some of that aggression to the South Carolina players, but that's not important right now. Sluggish trying to keep the pressure on to UNCA. McMonster gets dunked out by Sluggish. Ball rolls down, and Steve is there, making it a 2-0 lead with a minute and a half remaining.
Just again, another mistouch from McMonster. He's been so good on defense today, and these kind of touches just cannot be happening in a must-win game. Keep your series hopes alive to give you a better chance at a better spot for tomorrow, as just another let up as that's going to go right into the hands of UNC. I was about to say Asheville Wilmington, and Steve getting another one as right there, just another good passing play. Sluggish with the read off the demo, gets the double touch off the wall, and a great shot by Steve to finish that one home.
I think UNCW is remembering that they have mechanics. They just need to get that extra touch that will throw off the UNC Asheville defenders. And that's what's led to their 3 goals late in this game number 4. Sluggish popping this one up. Monster up early. I like how early he is going up for these balls. Sluggish trying to do it again. McMonster no boost. Pinch down off the ceiling, and Kuzo is there. Reticle keeping this one in. Steve is up for it, but it is popped out back to Sluggish. Kuzo looking for a demo and keeping this play alive for Asheville. Steve back into the corner. Sluggish demoed out. Steve popping it over. McMonster, Sunday Driver, quick turn, and is able to keep pressure on this midfield line. McMonster, bad recovery on the wall. Sluggish keeping this one in. You have to score if you're Asheville, and you have to score now. 35 seconds left. You need 2 kickoff goals and 1 goal. This could be it. This is the chance, but it is boomed away, and Sluggish looks for a double touch that goes wide.
Asheville just has to hold into this lead. Park plus for the next 25 seconds in order to win this series and guarantee them the 7th seed. And as we kind of go back into that seeding, as we call this like the second bracket or whatever, but I also like to think of this bracket as the land, sea, and air bracket, because we have the Seahawks for the sea, we have the land being the Wolves and the Spartans, and the air also kind of being the Seahawks with a mix of the Bulldogs. So it's like all together, but either way, that goal will be the nail in the coffin for Wilmington, and they will end up being 2-1 alongside NC State and Greensboro, which will secure Greensboro as the 5th seed, NC State as the 6th seed, Seahawks as the 7th seed, and Asheville as the 8th seed.
Beautiful games from Asheville. They still have a chance for tomorrow. Sunday Driver, I think, will be key in the series that he has against the number 1 seed, whoever that may be. Reticle keeping this ball up at 0 seconds, keeping the good sport as we've seen all series. But as that ball hits the ground, UNCW takes the series 3-1. That was the last game on today's broadcast, and it has been a pleasure casting with you today. Currently on the C3 Esports League stream, we have the South Carolina Gamecocks versus the Winthrop stream. But before you head over and do that, we do have an interview with one of the UNCW players coming up.
Welcome back, everybody, to the final interview of the day, day number 1 of the C3 LAN. I have Sluggish here with me from UNC Wilmington. And Sluggish, that was a interesting series, I will say. We saw the Chevys come out from Asheville, and also y'all with a 9-1 win, and I think it was a 5-2 win. I mean, I saw the vibes were good on both ends. It was just like a friendly rivalry where you both y'all kind of just chirping back and forth for fun. Or how was the series from y'all's perspective?
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun playing Asheville. They always bring a lot of energy. They usually have an entourage, so it's like every game there's an audience. Every game we get loud. Dropping game 1, I can't lie, was unexpected.
Yep.
Nobody saw that coming on our team. Our coach was telling us to lock in, but yeah, overall it's just a really fun time. You know, everybody's going for stuff. Everybody's going for demos.
Yes. I mean, heck, with how y'all are playing, again, like you said, game 1, a little bit shaky start, and
Yeah.
then you saw game 2, y'all got so confident. I mean, a 9-1 win to where you were literally forcing the opponents to pull shot you into the ball. I saw Mac hit an insane redirect on his own net off the pass. Like, at this point, it just felt like a 6v0 where they were trying to put it on their own net. But going into tomorrow, so the way that we kind of calculated the seeding is that for this group specifically, with y'all's win, UNC Greensboro will take the 5th seed.
Yeah.
NC State will be the 6th seed. Y'all are the 7th, and Asheville is the 8th. So, barring how you can hear them in the background getting loud with how Winthrop and South Carolina are playing, one of those two will most likely take the 1 and 2 seed. So, is there any hopes of like who you kind of wish you play against between those two, or are y'all just kind of looking to go into it and be like, we no matter who we play against, we know we're gonna win?
Yeah, we kind of have a like just play who's in front of us mentality. I think we have a little bit of a mental barrier when it comes to USC. We've definitely struggled with them in the past compared to Winthrop. But this new Winthrop roster this season is something like obviously they swept Charlotte this morning. Like both teams are definitely going to be tough to play against, but I'm confident like as long as we lock in, we play like we played today against NC State, then I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, and like we saw, I mean, just insane games from everyone today. I mean,
Yeah.
you saw, like we talked about, Winthrop upsetting Charlotte, and Charlotte started out 0-2 when they were the number 1 seed coming in on 3
Yeah.
tournaments, and then Clemson sweeping Winthrop, almost perfect sweep. And
Yeah.
like this is the whole entire thing I say about like lane environment. So much changes
It's
because
just different.
it is so much different with all how loud people get and how comfortable you are trying to get adjusted to like the monitors. You're not used to all the bright lights being in your face, which literally the whole entire saying of like the lights were too bright. Like it literally it can happen in these situations. It's whatever team is more down to earth and can kind of control themselves in these situations. So obviously today was the group stage. Y'all are just getting adjusted to it, but tomorrow is the big day. So I'm expecting y'all to do good, get some rest, be ready for that. But until then, As we hear, looks like Winthrop actually might close that out, but that is on the A stream, so you should go check that out as we close things here over at the B stream. So I want to last time give a big thank you to Visit Raleigh. If you are ever in the area of North Carolina or deciding to visit Raleigh.com is the place to go, because Raleigh, being the capital of North Carolina, is such a beautiful place to visit with so many things to do and ton of great opportunities to see, especially for sports if you like hockey. Carolina Hurricanes, we say it a lot, and we love them here because they're a really good team, unless we're talking about the Eastern Conference Finals. So unless you are a huge fan, I would suggest visiting Raleigh for sure and checking out. And once again, it is visitraleigh.com. But until then, until tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, make sure to visit us again as we have playoffs tomorrow for the C3 League. Don't miss it, and we will see you tomorrow. But until then, goodbye for the last time today.